6. Command Toga, SRS runway, auto thrust is loose. 80 knots, thrust set. 5500. 31. Rotate.
Well, back by popular demand, believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another X-Plane 12 live stream coming at you from South Georgia here at the V1 HQ. It's good to be back. Hopefully my voice isn't completely trashed. I had one hell of a weekend, so hope everybody's doing good. Hopefully you're excited for today's stream. Gonna test a couple different things out. So I'm excited to be here. I hope you're excited to be here. We're flying Fort Lauderdale to Cancun, one of my favorite airports to fly into. I don't know why. It's just easy, but it's fun. You get that vacation vibe. And I tell you what, I could definitely go to Cancun for like a 3-day all-inclusive vacation right now. I could go for one of those. But unfortunately, we got some work to do here. We got the Toliss A321 in the version 1.6, I believe. The latest and greatest version. We have X-Plane 12.06 beta also here with updated clouds. I think that's what it is. I'm running real time. I know it's awful. It's 3:30 in the afternoon, but I figured to let the clouds kind of show their thing. I'm running real time right now so we can kind of see what's going on. If you want, maybe before we take off, we can kind of wind it back to sunset, or sunrise rather, and see what it looks like. But the one other important thing I want to talk to you today about is the best sound pack to hit the X-Plane 12 platform. The stream could be this short right here. If you fly Toliss in X-Plane 12, if you fly Toliss in X-Plane 11, hit exclamation point sound. Go buy this sound pack. It concludes the 19, the 20, the 19, the 21. Does it include the Neo, the 320 Neo? It might, I have to look. Well, you can purchase them. and it is both 11 and 12, and it works when you switch engines out. It is the all-inclusive sound pack that you need, the sound set that you need for the Toliss Airbus. So we're rocking that one. If you watched the last stream, those were default Toliss sounds. These are the payware sound set from KOSP, but I'm telling you, you just need to, if you fly one Toliss airplane, if you just fly one of them, just go get this sound pack, because your world will change, your life will change. BSS is no longer relevant when it comes to the Toliss aircraft for sounds. So I hope that doesn't make you too upset, but I'm just telling you like it is. I've flown these airplanes a ton. I was a huge fan of the huge fan of the BSS sound pack on the Flight Factor 320 when it first dropped for the CFM sound set. Added a whole ton of immersion to that airplane, but then the way that the changes came to that whole sound pack, it just kind of was a mess. So we can talk about that later in cruise. Right now, we're going to get this airplane fired up, ready to go. A couple shout outs. Remember, this is the audio only stream, Team Vodka. Yeah, well, we don't have any ortho. We're not rocking any add-ons in the sim, because this simulator, to me, as where it sits right now, is it's worth the amount of time to double click the desktop icon and start it. This is a training simulator or a teaching simulator for you. It's not a sim that I'm going to use for visuals and looking at cool candy stuff, because it cannot compete with Microsoft on that front. Once maybe updates come along, maybe it does, then I'll spend some time in making the scenery look better. But as of right now, y'all know I love the Toliss airplanes. We got the 321 today, which I'm excited to be back in the 321. We're going to be a little bit heavy. I've maxed out. I've got us as heavy as we can possibly be for a flight down to Cancun. We're payload limited on this one, so we're taking an additional 20,000 pounds of cargo. Maybe we're taking some I don't know what we're taking down. What were we taking to Cancun? Maybe we're taking some, I don't even know, because everything that you buy in Lauderdale you could get in Cancun. So I don't know. We're taking something down there in cargo. Either way, the gaming text, good to see you. V1 on the 321 right behind you. Next came from Phil. That's awesome, gaming text. Welcome to Lauderdale. Toliss or Phoenix, which is better? It's a different simulator, man. Billy B16, welcome to Private Pilot. Glad to see you here. Welcome back. Glad to have you on board. Merlin, good to see you. Kyle Ferris in the house. Niels is in the house. Gustavo, what is up, man? Good to see you. No, I did not install the Carta engines. These are default Toliss engines that you're looking at right now. Taking lead fishing weights. AJ Funari, that's a great way to put it. Yes, we're taking a bunch of lead fishing weights down to Cancun. Afternoon, Zach. Good to see you. Dan Lowe, Zach Lewine, Fireflyer 1002, JP. Chaos is in the house. Good to see you, Chaos, the man who never sleeps. Paul Shoesmith. Aaron, the Irish lad himself. Good to see you, my friend. Welcome on board. And that's it. If I didn't get your name, I'm sorry. I couldn't want to scroll up in the chat there. My mouse wheel's not working. So anyway, let's get the show on the road. You can see the bags are already almost loaded up. One thing I'm going to show you right now, I did not bring my iPad to the office today. I forgot. I just left it on the counter. So we're going to make it, we're going to, and since there's not a whole lot of stuff to look at, in X-Plane 12 by default, I'm running faults on this flight, which we always do, but I bumped them up to a little bit over halfway. So this is our default setting. We may or may not have some faults, and hopefully we don't get anything too crazy, because I do not have my QRH or anything to go through the faults. But we're rocking the random faults. Maybe that'll keep us busy as we go out over the water. We're going to take a look at these new clouds. We're going to see how the sim performs, and we're going to go from there. So without further ado, Slam Cannon, good to see you. What is going on? Good to see you, Slam. Hope they're treating you well. Hope you're doing good. And glad to have you on board, Slam. It's been a while. Hope everything is well with flying, and hope that you're still flying. Haven't seen any flying pics in the Discord lately, man. Come on, gotta hook it up. All right, Harris, good to see you. Take it easy. Just got off work. This is oh, you just got off work. This is a real treat. I was looking for it. Well, Harris, I thought you were saying you were leaving, but welcome to the stream, my friend. Good to have you on board. It should be an exciting one. These are, well, real quick, let's kind of take a look at the clouds. So we're gonna see. I mean, they don't. I'm gonna be straight honest with y'all right now. This doesn't look that bad. This really does not look that bad as far as clouds. I don't know what the weather is doing in Lauderdale right now. I am not running any add-ons for weather injection. This is default X-Plane 12 weather on the 12.06 beta. So right now, the clouds, they look pretty good. They look pretty good. So without further ado, here we go. Let's get in there. Checking in from Boston, Mick Shiggity Pilot. Good to see you. Welcome on board. Welcome. All right, I want to, man, the trucks are going to kind of muffle the, muffle the sound. So what we're going to do here is let me get rid of Where's my control panel? I'm going to get rid of the catering one. Let's go ahead and get rid of him. And let's get rid of the stairs. All right, we're going to get rid of those 2 stairs. And we'll probably get rid of the GPU. All right, and then we're going to close. This is just for sound, so you guys get a full idea of the sounds here. Oh, situation, I got us basically a new 321 with new IE engines. And where do I want to go? I want to go to general, no, joystick, no, ground services. That's what I want. Let's go ahead and close one right. And we'll close one left. We'll just close those doors. So when we're in the cockpit here, we'll have maximum, a little bit better sound. Yes, I'm trying the KOSP Soundpack. This is the best I've ever heard for Airbus in any sim. Lights down below. They are absolutely fantastic. Exclamation point sound. If you want to check it out, I highly, highly recommend you do. Here we go. Let's go ahead. I'm going to be quiet. I'm going to go through a little power-up sequence here. You guys can listen to the sounds. Very good power-up sequence there. We'll let the airplane come to life. You can hear the bus transfer. You can hear the fans kicking on, the self-test. Everything's looking good. Flame, yes, this is the sound pack that is installed. Highly, highly recommend it. Now, I haven't even done a full flight A to B with it, but I have started up with engines running. I've done Toga takeoffs, landing, reverse thrust, and I'm telling you, it is high quality. And so I'm really looking forward to engine start here on the IE. I did an engine start on the Neo, but I didn't do one on the IEs yet, so we're going to experience that together first time. But all right, everything's coming to life here. Let's go into our overhead flow. We'll go cruise supply on, ground control on, CVR test. Very good. One other thing that I noticed, I'm going to just let you know right off the bat, because on my test landing, the GipWiz callouts on this sound pack might be the best quality GipWiz callouts that I've heard across any sim. Like, they sound like they're coming straight through your headset or straight through the cockpit speakers. They sound phenomenal when you're coming into land. Your 50, 40, that countdown. Very, very clean. All right, I'm going to go ahead and just mute X-Pilot for right now. Let's go ahead and continue on here. We'll go strobe and auto, nav position 1. Seatbelts, we'll keep it off. We'll go auto. We'll arm the emergency exit lights. One thing that kind of bothered me, if you haven't been in the real airplane, you wouldn't know this, but these knobs don't have any sounds to them in real life. And they are correctly removed in this sound pack. So these knobs here, there's no detents, there's no buttons, or there's no like that clicking sound as you like, it's just straight linear smooth knobs. Some of them are, matter of fact, really loose up there, and there's no sound associated, and you can see that here. We don't want econ flow. Let's go ahead and turn that off. Let's go up the overhead panel here. Everything looks good. Let's do a fire test 1, fire test 2, let's do APU fire, and I'll tell you what, let's go ahead and do a battery check since we are right here. I'm gonna, where am I gonna put this? We'll put this right here. So let's do a proper battery check. So how we do that, we're on ground power with APU off. We'll go ahead and turn the batteries off. Let's go ahead and turn it back on. We're looking for less than 60 amps and decreasing within 10 seconds. You can see here this is a successful battery test right out of the gate. The Phoenix, whenever you do a battery check on the first flight, it always fails. I don't know if that's just a limitation or if that's just they're simulating that the airplane been overnight. I'm not sure why. But this is a very accurate representation of what I see on the line most of the time. I have had battery test fails, but I'd say it's probably 3%, 5% of the time that I do a battery test that they fail. So most of the time you see a little bit of discharge and you see it go right back down. And even I see it go back down to 0 much quicker than this normally. Not to say that it can't be just doing a little bit of discharging. But there we go. We'll continue up the right-hand side. Everything else looks good. PA is out and on that side. And let's come down over here. We'll go ahead and get rid of the electric ECAM. Actually, before I do that, let's go ahead and check our engine page. Make sure we have oil. Let's check our pressurization. That is in auto. Let's check our hydraulics. We have hydraulic fluid. Now, these sounds right here, the McDo keys. McDo keys. Listen to this. Very, very good McDo sounds. The only thing that is missing is it does not, and I wouldn't even say missing, there's no ref, I guess, for the sound pack creator. Well, it actually works when I hit the clear button to make the pop out sounds have noise, except the clear button, I guess. But when you're doing it in the 3D cockpit, phenomenal sound set. Let's go ahead and do our init request. We'll pull that over. Gustavo, good to see you. Shift G, you can toggle the jet bridge in and out. Oh, really? I had no idea. Let me try it right now, Gustavo. Oh, look at this. Oh my goodness, look at that, Gustavo. You're the man, dude. I was just hoping that, you know, I was just thinking that the passengers would have to wish their way into the airplane. Look at that. See, I forget all my X-Plane bindings, but I think that's new for X-Plane 12, right? Slam says, hope everything is going well on the ATL land. Flew into Falcon Field there not too long ago. Slam, that's not too far, man. Not too far from me. That's awesome, dude. Even the chimes sound like they're coming through the speaker. Yes, Jeremy. Jeremy, good to see you, man. Yes, indeed. The chimes sound like they're coming through. The sounds are extremely clean. I think sometimes you get some sound packs, even some really high-quality ones, where you get to the call-outs and maybe even the chimes, where it almost sounds like it's recorded through a video, through another video. And I get it. It's probably hard to get. I would imagine the actual sound, I don't know if it's actually proprietary to Airbus or whatever, but they are very, very clean. Have you ever heard of the freeware X-Plane Metroliner? I have, James, and I believe I got it for X-Plane 11, but I never tried it. Here we are. Fort Lauderdale, Cancun, Cactus 357, cost index 99. We're going to change that. Let's go here. We also can get our ATIS. Let's go ahead and do some ATIS. We'll go ATSU, AOC, weather request. Let's see who's online. Houston, Jax, so nobody that we need to talk to. Let's go ahead and do a weather ATIS. Let's go ahead and... nope. How do I go back to weather and ATIS? How do I pull it? No, we don't need to do that. ATSU AOC. Am I missing something here? Shall we get the trucks rolling in Cancun, Aviator Nick? You might have to. I'd have to. I don't know why I can't pull up the weather. That's fine. We have other ways to do that. We can go here. We'll go plugins. We'll go AviTab, toggle tablet. Oh, Hoppy has to be connected? I don't think I have my Hoppy connected just because I was tired of getting spammed by the Jehovah Witness in Spanish. So we'll do it the old-fashioned way here. We'll go KFLL, search, look at that, boom. No weather information. Rip. Okay, well, in that case, where we're going, we don't need no weather information. We're going to go ahead and do this. I would imagine the altimeter is close to 3012 in real life. About 3012 in real life. But what I wonder is why can't I get it through the AviTab tablet? Because normally I could. That's fine. All right, here we go. Fort Lauderdale departure. We need 10 left for performance today. Thank you. Lazaros has got it right there. What is it? 3011. Look at that. See, I was pretty much close. Close? That's pretty much close to it with 3012. Departing 10s and 12s. That's all I need to know, man. That's all I need to know. Thank you, Mark. All right, we're going to be departing off of... I hate how XPilot does, or VATSIM does this new flight plan thing. I already filed you. Mainer 1, Kanoa. That's all I need. Mainer 1, which is right here. And we're going to go off the Kanoa transition. We'll insert that. RC Flyer, man. Thank you so much for the 15-month support. Earning my stripes. Proud to support you, man. Keep with the great streams. RC Flyer, 15 months of support. Very kind of you. Thank you for that. I appreciate all the support, whether it's 1 month, 2 months, 6 months. You're absolutely awesome. Thanks for continuing to support the channel, RC Flyer. Hope you enjoy the flight on down to Cancun. And BKG Blueface, I'm sorry, man. I missed your membership chat back there as well. It's 7 months. Peace and love, Cap. BKG, thank you for that. Thank you for the support at 7 months as well. Very kind of you that you guys support the channel here. Without y'all, this channel would not be doing what it's doing. So I do appreciate each and every single one of you who support this channel. You guys are absolutely fantastic. We're going to do the ILS DME 3, 1-2 left, and we're coming down the NOSAB 1 Bravo off of Vixie. or RIDUG? Is it Vixie or RIDUG? Let me look at my flight plan real quick. Oh, you know what? We actually can do this. Let me go Avi tab. I have it in here. I have this Fort Lauderdale, Cancun. Look at this. Oh yes, I missed that. I missed you, Avi tab. That's our fuel. NOSAT 1 Bravo off of NOSAT, so we can skip the approach via. No, we can't. We actually need it. So let's figure out which one it is. I want to say I don't know. Coming from this direction, it's a little bit different. Let's go approaches or arrivals on the NOSAT 1 Bravo. We're coming down from NOSAT, so boom, boom, out to RIDUG. It is going to be RIDUG. Approach via RIDUG from this direction on the 1-2 left. Insert that. Beautiful. Now we can go into plan mode, put constraints on, pop you out. No, well, I guess we'll just look at it right here. We're going to get a direct 2. We're not going to do that whole little shabab there. Perfect. Look at that. Transition all the way down. Love that. Cancun makes it super simple. That's in the box. Let's go ahead and get our secondary loaded up. Have you considered downloading Auto Ortho? Is available for X-Plane Game Changer. You can delete all your orthos, drive, start over with this. Bill, I've thought about it, but no. Like I said, this sim to me is worth the amount of time it takes to double-click the desktop icon. This sim, for my personal use, I'm using it to teach you guys stuff, and I'm going to use it for training and recurrent purposes. So, and I wanted to get back into 321 today. I wanted to show you all this Soundpack because I know a lot of you don't like the Microsoft situation, which is totally fine. So if you are in the X-Plane space and you fly the Toliss Airbus, you have to check out this Soundpack because it's the one-stop shop for all your Airbus sounds, I'm telling you. Now as the sim continues to progress and maybe it gets more and more updates, then maybe I'll take the time to investigate Auto Ortho, and even at that point I'd probably stay away from Auto Ortho. I'll probably just do my own ortho again. But like I said, it's got to have enough updates to make it worth my time to come in here and create all that stuff for the sim. But as of right now, I still think if you're doing abnormals, any type of abnormal training, V1 cuts, single engine, doing sets, practicing sets like in the Toliss state saving, you can't beat X-Plane 12. You can't beat it for that. So for that reason, I don't need to spend the time in making it look pretty. Plus, I think it's kind of a good thing to just give you guys a show of the sim at its face value. You know, like today we're going to be looking at all the clouds coming out of here. These are all default. So, you know, if you get some add-ons, you can make it look even better. Maybe you've been sitting on X-Plane 11 waiting to upgrade to 12. Maybe you see something on this trim that makes you jump into 12 and you move forth. So that's what we're going after today. So secondary's in there. Perf data. Let's go ahead and come all the way over. Approach 3011. Temperature is probably hot, 34 degrees. We'll throw that in there. Mag wind, basically nil. We'll go 040. I think it's like 211 on the actual MDA, so I'll put that in there. Close enough. Rad page. Let's put KFLL right here. Always have to do your secondaries though in the Phoenix in the Toliss, because it definitely it can bite you, especially with failures on. So let's go ahead and do a takeoff data request. 10 left. Now we are going to be very heavy. We're going to be. I've maxed this out as much as we can. Remember we talked about max landing weights, max takeoff weight, all the limiting factors. This particular flight, we are going to be limited by our landing weight again. So I think we're going to be right about 180,000 pounds gross, which is still about 15,000 pounds under the structural max takeoff weight, but it's still nothing to laugh at as far as takeoff weights are concerned. And we will be right at max landing weight. All right. Let's go ahead and go uplink, receive takeoff data, 10 left. We're going to do flap 1, no flex, insert. I still love the way they do the uplink takeoff data here in the Toliss. Still by far my absolute favorite way to do it. That's how it should, well, I say how it should be done. This is how it works for my airline. How you get takeoff data here is how it works for my operator. 53, 57, 18,000, engine out's 1,000 feet, no flex, flaps 1, trim neutral at 0.0. Been getting some questions on takeoff shift. Takeoff shift, guys, the way that works is it shows you the amount of runway that you are shifting or that you are subtracting from your total runway length. So if you put an intersection departure in there, when you get your ACARS performance data back, you should see a number in here of the number of feet that you have cut off from your departure runway. The only way you'd be able to tell what that numerical value is if you had it on a chart somewhere. Well, we don't even look it up because when we get our ACARS data back, it'll show you at all the different intersections how many feet are available, and you can just see, okay, if I did a Bravo 6 departure, it's going to be a shift of 400 feet, 500 feet, and then you can just verify that it's there in the box. But it's don't overthink this. It basically just tells you how many feet you took off the total takeoff distance for your runway. All right, takeoff data is set. We have we should go to 22.8 on here. Let's go 22.8. We'll put that in the active. We'll get the vPilot sounds up. There's no one to talk to on there. Let's go ARC mode. Let's fire up the APU because you guys want to hear the APU sounds. Oh, listen to these fuel pump sounds. Those are genuine Airbus fuel pump sounds. Listen to that. Unlike possible other sound packs that you can purchase, these fuel pumps are genuine Airbus fuel pumps. Oh, its head's down there. What happened with Microsoft? Nothing happened with Microsoft. I'm just saying everybody has their own sim preference. So, that's nothing happened with Microsoft. I still love Microsoft. We'll be flying it again soon. Don't worry. But this sound pack, I got to tell you, this is what I would have had my entire X-Plane career, would be this sound pack if it was available. All right, so the fuel pumps are on. Let's go ahead and do the master power, and then we're going to fire it up here. Make sure I didn't miss anything on the overhead. Everything looks good. All right, we're going outside. Take a listen to this. There's the APU flap door opening. You can hear the door cut out. Can even hear the light off of the APU. Do you think this is Boris level? You know I have high standards. Jeremy? I would say this is Boris level. Let me get through a full flight, Jeremy, and then I'll have a better... I haven't done a full flight cold and dark with it yet, so I'll let you know at the end of the stream. But yeah, everything I've heard so far, for sure. What we'd have to do, Jeremy, is also we'd have to fire up the Neo to do a head-to-head comparison. That'd be kind of fun, actually. We'll have to do head-to-head comparison with this sound pack on the Neo and the Boris sound pack on the fly-by-wire. Absolutely love that. All right, now this is one of my all-time favorite sounds. I'm going to show you. So right now, the APU is running, but we're not drawing any bleed air from the packs. So let's go ahead and get rid of the ground handling. We'll go ahead and let them drive away. We're all boarded up. And then I'm gonna turn on the APU bleed, and you're going to listen to the packs spin up. I don't know why I love this sound, because in real life it's actually quite annoying, and it's deafening on the ears, especially if you're doing the walk around. I tend to hold off on starting the APU bleed until the first officer comes back into the cockpit, but if it's super hot, sometimes you just got to fire it up when you got to fire it up. But wait till you hear these packs spool up on this sound pack. I'm going to let these trucks drive away here. Boris says it is. Ooh, yeah. AJ says buying sound pack now. AJ, hey man, this is one of those things where I typically I won't promote something, especially if it's a payware scenario, unless I am 110% confident that my viewers are going to feel the same way about it that I do. And I tell you right now, AJ, you're probably going to go on a Toliss binge flying spree after you experience this sound pack. I'm in the Airbus. How do you calculate flex temp? We don't calculate it as pilots. We get that from a dispatch. So basically, it's how effective do you want to be on your engines. If you want to be hardcore like me, just go ahead and do no flex. You don't need to flex. If you want to flex, maybe you're out in different parts of the world, but we gotta save the world one flex takeoff at a time. Do a flex of like 50, you'll be fine. But typically all flex does is it reduces engine wear, saves a little bit of fuel, saves a little bit of noise. But when you're in the sim, what fun is that? I want my sim to be as loud and visceral as possible. This is the no flex gang. Andre says, I miss the IEs with awesome sounds. Definitely one of the big things missing in mics. Andre, you are absolutely right. Look at these IAEs sitting out here, man. And these are default ones, so you can make this look even. You can even get the Carta sound packs and make it look Carta engine mod and make it look even better. But I'm gonna hand it to Toliss. I will give credit where credit is due. They have really stepped up their game on these engines. If you remember when the X-Plane, or when Toliss first released the engines, there was a lot of things that I had to say about them, and then we had Carta came out and did his engines for free, the Carta engine mod. Now, are these absolutely perfect? No, but they are definitely miles better than what they used to be. So shout out to Toliss for really getting it done, making them clean. They really cleaned up. What always drove me nuts was this lip right here. Always had a bunch of half circles on it, but they've really cleaned that up and made it look nice and sharp. So I think they really have done a nice job with these IE engines. And I cannot wait, guys. I cannot wait till we get some proper IEs in Microsoft. All right, we've got the APU running. Let's say it's been running for about 3 minutes. I don't know if it has or not, but let's go ahead and turn on the APU bleed. We'll go back outside. Listen to that. So when you turn on the APU bleed, that's going to obviously bring bleed air from the auxiliary power unit down into the pneumatic air cycle kit. The packs, what we use for air conditioning, it's going to spin them up to speed, and that's what you got. So now our packs are running, and if you were to be doing a walk around right now, this is pretty much exactly what it sounds like. As a matter of fact, the pack inlets are right over here. Absolutely love it. I have this Soundpack with Carta engines. I'm going to find the 321 nonstop for a week. Well, there you go. There you go. But how are the flaps? Wing nut. I'll tell you what, man. Wait till I deploy them for takeoff. We're doing a flaps one. They are much better than what they used to be as well. So hats off to Toliss. They're much better. You can see here 321. We got a double slotted flap here. This is specific to the Toliss. Oh, gosh, I cannot speak, guys. It's been a long weekend. We bachelor party in Nashville. So I'm recovering, but so just bear with me. I apologize. 321 specific flap configuration. We've got a double slotted Fowler flap here, and this is correctly modeled by Toliss. Now, what's also pretty cool, I'm not going to do it right now, but if you were to change the aircraft configuration to the Neo, and then you put it in the, I believe it's the LR. The LR actually has a it doesn't even have the double slot. It goes all the way back to the single slot because of the way the CG is for the fuel tanks. So, and Toliss has that modeled properly as well. I did a video on that a long time ago. But Toliss has taken the time to get the proper flap angles and the proper flap layouts for all of the Airbuses, the CFM, IEs, the Neos, and the LRs. I believe it's the LR or I think it's the XLR actually. The XLR has a different flap on the trailing edge of the 321 because of the CG point for the external, or the not external, internal fuel tanks or additional fuel tanks. But good to see you, Wingnut. Hope you're doing well, man. Always a pleasure to have Wingnut on board. Always feel like I got to be on my best behavior when the widgets join. Do you start the timer for the APU when you start the APU, or when the veil light comes on? Ronald, right after the APU is started. Once it's up to speed, I start the clock. Now, it's not a hard limitation of 3 minutes. It's a recommendation that you let it burn for 3 minutes to get any of that potential fumes from coming into the cabin. But I mean, I've had maintenance come onto the airplane, fire up the APU, and turn the bleed straight on. And in all honesty, my SOP has changed over the last 2 years. When I first got hired, we would just turn it on, and there was really nothing about letting the APU burn off. That only came about within the last couple of years, I think. So, engine start is coming up right now. We're going to push back. You guys ready to get out of here? I'm ready to get out of here. So let's go ahead and make sure everything's closed up. Let's go ahead and ground services. We're going to close all these doors here. We're going to close, close, close. We're going to go close, close, close. We're going to close everything up. We're going to turn the beacon on. We're going to get rid of that. You can hear the cargo doors closing. I'm going to hide all the ground control vehicles. What was it? Shift G for the... let's go ahead and get rid of them. Love that. That's the hydraulics there for... You can see them bleeding off. That's true to the real life. So they just ran that electric hand pump outside to close the doors. Now you can see the pressure is bleeding off. All right, doors are closed. We should be squawking 2000. We'll put it into XPDR mode for now. We'll be in above mode, position 1. Everything's ready to go. Top altitude, we don't have any ATC on. What did we file? I think we filed... Oh my gosh, why does... Flight plan found. Oh, I don't have to do this every time. We filed 34,000 feet. So we'll put 340 in there. Alright, 34 is set, and the jet bridge is detached. Nobody is behind us. We'll just push straight back. So I'm going to come over here. We're going to do it via the Toliss menu right here. We're going to go ground, which is mechanic, ground service, pushback. We'll go 80, no angle. We'll go ahead and start it right now. We're going to do, you'll hear the PTU here in a minute while I'm startup. Alright, beacon is on. Everything is closed up. I don't know why I can't get them to arm. Lauderdale traffic, X357 pushing back off of Fox 9 straight back. I don't know what gate we are. About to hop on a bigger Max 8. Ooh. To Iowa, glad I could catch a stream before my flight. Water, always a pleasure, man. Enjoy your flight wherever you may be headed. Pressing the mech in the audio panel will open a quick menu. Yep, that's what I got. That's what I'm running. Alright, let's go ahead and release the brakes. Oh boy. And we also need to make sure those are all off. You can see it's kind of clearing up. A little bit of environmental weather going on here. Look at that 321. Doesn't that look good? Gosh, 321 with IEs, man. So good. E5, thanks, Gaming Techs. Do you welcome aboard briefings? Yes, of course, right? The button to the right of the mech, you tap, close arm doors.
Traffic, X-ray 16, trying to push it back from 8, Golf 6.
Brakes are set. Let's go ahead and start them up. Before start checklist, windows, door, and slides, closed arm. Beacon is on. Thrust lever is idle. Parking brake is on. Get rid of you. Before start checklist is complete. All right, we're going to start them up. I'm going to be quiet. Enjoy the startup sounds for number 1. Here we go. Hear the air cut out beautifully. All right, I'm going to be quiet, I promise. That's pretty dang juicy, I'm not gonna lie. I love that high pitch coming in there. Alright, we have an Avail light. Let's go ahead and start engine 2. PTU. Allen Armor, exclamation point sound. I'll take you right there.
And Fort Lauderdale traffic, American 2992 is going to be taxiing to runway 10 left via Tango 3. Bravo 1. Fort Lauderdale.
I still love the, I love the IAE startup simulation in the Toliss. It's very true to real life. And these are the most powerful Airbus engines, the 321 IAEs. They are the less derated. So while they are the same engine that's on the 20 and the 19, these are the less derated. They produce the most amount of thrust. So these are the big boys right here. All right, we got 2 good starts. We're going to go here. I can't arm the speed brake still on X-Plane 12 for some reason. Let's go ahead and do a flap check. Solid flaps. Random pilot in-dock on the first. That's exciting, man. Congratulations. Random pilot with a $5 super chat. Thank you so much for that, Random pilot. Appreciate the support. And congrats on your in-dock on the first. Not sure where you're going, what you're going to fly. You don't have to share it here if you don't like, but that is very exciting, man. Congratulations. Juicy flaps. Indeed, man. They are juicy. And, like, they've really cleaned them up. I mean, really cleaned them up. Oops, that's outside view. Didn't mean to rip everybody's ears. All right, that's good. Let's go ahead and turn off the APU bleed. We'll go ahead and turn off the APU. We're pretty much neutral and trim. Let's do a quick flight control check since we're sitting here. Full up, full down, a neutral, full left, full right, neutral, or rudder, full left, full right, neutral, auto brakes max, takeoff config check. Ooh, what do we got? Oil temp, delay takeoff. Here it is. Daggone. All right. I see you, Toliss. I see you. All right, radar's on auto. Transponder is TARA. Basically, everything is done early. We're going to delay takeoff. We'll leave this ECAM up here. That's what I do in real life as well. I don't clear it out just so I make sure I go back and redo the takeoff config check. Let's go ahead and taxi out. Let's go ahead and pull up a chart, though, for here. I know where we're going, but... no, why is the...
Air traffic, JetBlue 1423, taxi 10 left, Tango 7, November, Quebec, Charlie 1.
That sounds about right. Let's see, we need to go... It's a simple taxi for us. We are going to go to 10 left via Tango 4 and... Bravo. Do Tango 4 Bravo. Lauderdale traffic X347, taxi on 10 left, Tango 4 Bravo, Lauderdale. Alright, Tango 4 Bravo. Brakes released, taxi light on. Oh. Seatbelt sign on. Alright, here we go. Gotta love it. Got to love it. Roll forward call. We'll get them ready. Now, I don't even know if my scenery lines up proper. Flew the 321 X-Plane 12 for the first time in a while yesterday, and it felt really good. I'm way more consistent with landing as X-Plane versus Microsoft. There is something to be said about the way wow, look at all the traffic over there. We got 4 or 5 airplanes out there. Maybe we should have done a single engine taxi. Aviator Nick, welcome. Good morning. Not sure what happened. Joined the stream, but it didn't show until I refreshed. Not a problem, Aviator Nick. You're here now. Welcome on board. We're doing our little taxi out. Down to 10 left here in Lauderdale. Look at JetBlue trying to cut us off. We're not going to let that happen. I do like X-Plane 12's particle blur for exhaust better. Good point, Caleb. I know what you're talking about. Let's do a little flyby here. Flyby, drive-by. Damn. That looks pretty good. Looks pretty good, actually. Alright, he's holding short. Thanks, sir. Someone had to. X-Plane 12 camera is 1,000% better. Yes. Than Microsoft Fisheye Simulator. Why is that? Why is Microsoft have that fisheye effect? I don't like that fisheye effect either. Once you see X-Plane 12 where it's basically straight on, no fisheye lens, hard to unsee it at Microsoft. Remember, all the clouds that you see, all the shading you see, this is all default too, so It doesn't look half bad. I am, to be honest with you. For a default airport, if I had a, you know, $500 Fort Lauderdale scenery here, it might look even better. Do you need to make several copies of the aircraft as with BSS? Christiana, no, you do not. So, let me look at my install here real quick while I am taxiing. Alright, so the way it works, once you buy the pack, and I believe, I don't know if HK is in the chat, but it's very, very simple to install. You literally go to the Fmod folder and you just boom, copy some files over and you are done. No adding, deleting. You don't have to make different airplanes for different air variants. Okay, so it's very, very well done, and you can switch sounds without like getting into a new airplane. Let's see. Just lower the FOV. Oh, you're talking about Microsoft. So no, it's the install very, very easy. Michael Fisher gifted a membership to Call Me Sticks. Michael Fisher, I appreciate that gifted sub. Call Me Sticks has picked up a membership. Appreciate you, Michael. Very kind of you. Spida with a $5 super chat here. Are my alerts muted? They are. I apologize, guys. I hope I haven't missed anything. My alert box was muted. But Spida for the $5 super chat. I appreciate you. I love this Boeing so much. Beautiful plane. Not a Boeing. Almost looks like a 7.5 though, doesn't it? Almost looks like a 7.5. It's about 3 feet shorter than a 757. But it is a beauty. I just switched to X-Plane 12 and got the A340. I gotta say, I think I like it better than Microsoft for flying purposes. Hey man, if you take the time to make X-Plane 12 look good, you have a very viable simulator. Would I call it next gen? Probably not. I think streaming ortho is the way of the future. However, everybody's different, right? If you've got the time to make everything look pretty, you're not going to be disappointed, I don't think. And I'm going to kind of stay a little bit more reserved, though, until we get up and see these new clouds. These are the new clouds in the beta. As in our climb out, looks like we're going to be climbing through a layer or two, so I'll be kind of curious to see what it looks like when we get above here. I just did a flight in Microsoft, but the winds are way off with live weather. Do you know if it's a bug right now? Arc flight, I think it's been a bug for a little while as far as live weather and winds. And look, at the end of the day, and this is the same for X-Plane as it is for Microsoft for me, as long as the airplane is behaving like the winds, with the winds properly, I really don't care if it's exactly like what the real ATIS is saying. Like if the ATIS is saying 270 at 10 knots, and in my sim I'm getting 290 at 5 knots, I'm not going to bat an eyelash. Like it's different. Winds are always changing anyway. I can't tell you how many times I've landed on a runway where the ATIS is saying it's a headwind and it's 8-knot tailwind. So it's just you gotta kind of give it some leeway. I get abysmal frame rates in 12 and VR. It's really frustrating. I'm really disappointed in the rendering technology. Dan, unfortunately, I don't have any VR experience, so I can't comment on that. Right now, I'm actually getting really good frames. I know that's probably because it's default, but hope you're doing good. Been watching all streams. I think X-Plane is a lot better than Microsoft. What do you think? Camo? It depends, man. Depends what you're after. Captain, does the Soundpack also works for the 319 and 320? IFR Captain, there is a 319 version coming, so I am not sure if it's available to the public yet. HK was kind enough to send me a copy of the 319, but since we just flew the 319, I'm not in that one right now. But it is going to be available for the 319, and I believe it will be available for the 20. I cannot confirm nor deny that, but right now it is available for the 321. And it is coming for the 319. You'd have to speak with HK to see if it is actually coming for the 320 Neo. For us real pilots, did you know ForeFlight interface as well? Yes, David M. I used to use ForeFlight a lot when I had when I was flying freight. I would just sync up my ForeFlight in the sim to my iPad. But I just use the in-game maps now. But yeah, there is a way to make X-Plane work pretty good with ForeFlight. Tyson, welcome back, Prep Pilots. Are straight out of what? I can't see that. Does it say Compton, or is that one of those other ones? I've heard you going VR makes it difficult to enjoy regular monitors thereafter. Yeah. All right. Lauderdale traffic, X357 line up and wait, 10 left. Cloud option has 4 slides now in the settings menu. Really? Cam, good to see you. Cam A321 comes out of the woodwork when we're in a 321. Go figure. Good to see you, Cam. Hope all is well, my friend. It's a nice 330 over there. Bet you it's not the Aerosoft one. All right, here's the deal. I forgot to do this here. We got 325 watching. We have 120 likes. Can you hit 250 likes in the next 60 seconds? If you hit 250 likes before 1 minute expires, I will do a Toga take. I will do a PAX off. Where are we doing Toga? But I will do a PAX off takeoff. 250 likes in 60 seconds, and I'll shut the PAX off, and we're going to let it rip as loud as possible. You've got 57 seconds to make that happen. This is on you, chat, or else we're just going to keep the PAX on. It's going to be super lame. 330. What'd I say? 340? Rip. They added open 1206, but its command option will be UI on 1207. Ah, okay. Am I going nuts, or was that a 340? That was a 3... What the heck was it? It was a 340. It was a 340. Like I said, there was a lot of... probably some brain cell damage this past weekend, so... I've got my coffee right here. It still hasn't kicked in. Jeremy, I agree. The internal ambient sounds are very, very good. All right. Couple more seconds. Oh, we're close. 240 likes. 56, 58. Oh, 1 minute. 242 likes. Wow, we missed it by 8. All right, well, I appreciate the attempt, but maybe next time y'all be a little bit more excited. Here we go. Get those yogas in chat. Spool them up 50. This is going to be a super lame Toga takeoff with PAX on. Here we go. Lauderdale traffic, X357 departing 10 left. Refresh 250. Oh, okay. All right. Pack 1, Pack 2 is coming off. Here we go. Yoga's in chat. Oh my goodness. Jeez. Man, Toga SRS on runway auto thrust is blue. We're neutral by 100. We are pretty heavy. Why do we have an overtemp EGT on number 1? Look at that. Our EGT is V1. Rotate. It's time to go. Look at this, y'all. We got a EGT over right at the limit, 610 degrees. Positive rate. Gear up. 611. I bet you. Fly by. Here we go. We're gonna have to look at that here in a second. We're 610. We're still below the limit. Oh my goodness. Did you hear that? Did you hear that flyby? That's as good as the Fokker. Listen to this. God bless America. All right, we gotta deal with something here. Engine. Hold on. Hydraulic, green engine pump 1, low pressure. Clear the caution. We need to fly the airplane around. Green engine 1 pump off. I'm gonna go autopilot on because we got to deal with it. We got other issues we got to deal with here. Thrust climb, auto thrust. I got to turn the airplane down a little bit. Hydraulic green, engine 1 pump, low pressure. P2 has picked up the load there. Clear hydraulic, clear hydraulic. We got to get our packs on too. Pack 1's coming on. Air pack 2, that's associated. That's why we cleared that caution. That's another caution. We'll give it a couple more seconds here. Look how tight our speeds are. I'm going to let them auto retract. We're super tight on the clean speed and S speed. So we're going to let it auto retract, clear air. There goes our flap retraction automatically. Now as we come through S speed, because we're so heavy, now we'll go ahead and go flaps 0. Flap 0. P2 is going to run basically the whole flight. We might end up having to clear this out. Let's go direct to mainer, direct mainer in the turn. Thrust climb, climb nav. All right, clear status, clear status. Fly by. Flight time factor on 100 times higher than normal is pretty high. I know it is. Keeps it exciting though, but damn that flyby sound. All right, I tell you what, since we'll go fault, I'm gonna clear this one. And we'll go back to green on. And basically, we would have to run the P2 the whole flight. That's what would happen. .3, climbing 340. I'm gonna turn the sim down a little bit more. This is weather radar, apparently. Status. Pack 2, we never turned it back on. Pack 2 is coming back on. All right, we cleaned up. Thank you. Failure denied. So the only reason I cleared that failure out, I still want to run the failures up a little bit to keep it interesting, but that one, we would probably need to be a discussion with maintenance and dispatch on that one. I mean, we could easily continue on with 2 hydraulic systems. We still have redundant systems, but you also got to have that P2 run the whole flight. It might be better to just come back, return and land it. Looks like we're under a little bit of rain here. Oh, a little bit of lightning as well. Let's continue monitoring. We got ATC data link standby already. Maybe that's because we never synced up our hoppy. We're definitely into some turbulence. Definitely hear the wings, or see the wings starting to flex out there. Pretty sure that's the same lightning effect from like FS98. Aaron, no, that P2 would have definitely been barking the whole flight, unless you turned off the P2. But then you would lose pressure in green. You don't want to really do that. All right, there's 10,000 feet. We're gonna turn everything off here. That's off. I would call the cabin right now and be like, hey, yeah, can you guys just stay seated for another 5 minutes? I'll give you a call. All right, cool. They're gonna stay seated, and I'll start the chrono just so I remember that I kept them seated. I'm not gonna accelerate all the way to 329 knots. I'll probably select speed. We'll do 270. We're gonna climb out because we are getting bumped around. Now I'm trying to figure out the best place to go for when we break out here. Here we go. Here, now you kind of see some clouds here. Here we go. These are the new 1206 clouds. They are not terrible, y'all. All right. They are not terrible. These are way better than what we have seen in X-Plane. Way better than what we have seen in X-Plane. This is my very first look at them as well. This is my first time seeing clouds. We're in and out of rain here. Very traditional for South Florida. Matter of fact, I'm going to look at the radar right now. I'm going to see what kind of radar we got down in South Florida. Just departed Lauderdale. Oh, you know what? Yeah, we're going through a little bit of definitely some stuff going on down here. Not really in the right spot. Now fix the lightning. Yeah, they really need to fix the lightning. The lightning, honestly, is what's really killing it for me. We are in some definite moderate chop here. Yeah, it's definitely moderate chop. The way our speed is moving. I'm looking at the wind vectors here and kind of comparing it to what we see in Microsoft with the Phoenix. This tends to be a trend that I think is pretty challenging for devs to tackle. You see how rapid See how rapid things are moving? It doesn't happen that way in the real airplane. I don't know how you approach that as from a developer standpoint. Is that something that the sim, you know, you need something in the sim to fix? We'll do a cockpit nose breakout view here. Whoa, that actually looks pretty real right there, not gonna lie. Heavy rain, that's pretty much what it looks like. Varying intensities of rain. It's pretty decent. But like, is that a weather issue or is that a dev issue where you need to smoothen that stuff out? Maybe it's even a little bit of both. The lightning is cartoonish. Lightning couldn't be any worse. Yeah, Mike, I agree. Atari 2600 lighting slam. This is Havoc. This is quote unquote real weather, real time right now. I haven't changed anything. This is real weather, real time. Cyclone says this is a weather issue mostly, I would say. Okay. Now I'm just curious because it's we see it across platforms. We see it in Microsoft, we see it in the Phoenix, we see it in other airplanes as well. So I feel like it's probably something pretty challenging to tackle. Have you ever had an ECAM pop up on takeoff roll in real life? Brian, I have. And it was an RTO, and it was extremely violent. I think they need to decrease the sampling on the sensor. Like the computer takes input, it just needs to average out the data. That sound. I see where you're going with that, Dan. That sounds like it would probably smooth it out. Clouds definitely need more definition, but much better. This looks pretty good right here. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, a little more definition, but that looks pretty good. Now it's really dark. I guess we're in the shadow here. Let's do back wing view. Do wing nut view. I'm gonna say though, I'm pretty impressed with what they've fixed so far. This is, I'm not comparing this with Microsoft, but what I'm comparing it to what we had in the previous version of X-Plane. This is a much better representation. But the lightning is absolutely killing. I swear, if that lightning goes off one more time, I might just alt F4. But the clouds, very, very nice update for sure. I'll have to check out this. I'll have to check out Sunset, see if they got rid of Hiroshima style sunset. AJ, what I'm gonna do is once we get up of these clouds, up to our cruise altitude, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna move the sim forward to maybe do a sunset landing. How about that? We'll do a sunset approach into Cancun. We'd have the sun behind us though. But we'll give it a shot. We're at through 18. We'll go ahead and set standard. Let's see our climb performance here. Look at us dogging out. 1,600 feet a minute at 270 knots. We are 178,000 pounds. So that's nothing to, I mean, we are, I think, what is max takeoff weight? Like 100 or 200 and something, 206, 205, somewhere around there. We're close. We're not close to max, but we are decently heavy, and the temperature is pretty warm. We're ISA plus, we're ISA plus 12, so it's 6 degrees on the TAT right now. I have my chrono still running because I'm still waiting for it to smooth out before we release the cabin crew. Looks like we're in a solid layer right here. Let's go ahead and see what this looks like here during the breakout. If you did sunrise, you have the sun in front. Yeah, we could do sunrise or sunset. I'm not sure. What do you guys want to do? Maybe I'll throw a poll up. Well, I'm going to wait till we get to cruise, though, before we figure that out. Let's let this roll in real time because I would like to see if we can get on top of these clouds here. There we go. Look at that little bit of a breakthrough through the wing view. That looks good. Guys, I think that looks good, honestly. That shot right there, that looked pretty good. That definitely looked pretty good. Remember when Microsoft first came out and we just had potato blobs? I hated the clouds in Microsoft when they first came out. So I'm trying to use the same critical thought process here with Microsoft. These are not potato blobs, and they're not wall clouds that we saw in the last version. This is the beta 12.06. This is way better than those wall clouds and weird formations we saw. Toliss A320neo or 321? Hey, Kemal, so up until recently I would have told you to go with the 320neo because it was their most updated airplane. But right now their 321 and their 319 is at the same standard that their 320neo holds. That's texture-wise, in the cockpit, failure-wise, all the bugs, everything. They're all at the same standard now. So really, what I'm going to tell you, Kemal, go with whatever airplane that you think you're going to fly more. You know, If you want to fly something that's got some inertia behind it, kind of heavy, slow performance, like climb performance, you might want to go with the 321. If you want that Neo, you love flying the Neo, you want to be in the Neo, then, you know, obviously pick a Neo, but they're all the same standard right now, so it's literally what you want to fly. This looks a little funky over here, but let's go ahead and do a flyby shot here. Here comes some more sounds. Daggone.
What's your favorite wide body out there?
Dan Lynn, thanks for the $3 bank angle check, my friend. Favorite wide body out there? What do you mean? Like, that I'd want to fly? A340-600, but I only want to do domestic turns. I want to go Atlanta, Detroit, and back. At 8 a.m., back by 1 p.m. That's what I want. That's my favorite. It's my dream. Laminar is aware of some weird cloud shapes in the live weather. Okay, good deal. Got the Toliss 321 and Neo expansion. Ooh, there you go. You can get a 321 and you get a 321 Neo. That's a good point. Big plus of X-Plane is the camera system. Yes, it is. Ivamo, the radar returns were all right. Weather radar in any sim just kind of is meh. I've never really... I think it's really hard to pick weather properly. Because remember, the real airplane, we're not looking at clouds. We're looking at radar returns. Oh, here we go. This is a good judge of clouds right here. As we break out, it starts to get a little bit more scattered. Definitely better than what it used to be. Definitely better than what it used to be. Let's let it play out. Does the weather radar work in the Level D simulator? Xavier Bell, it does, but it's pre-programmed from what I understand. So basically, they will predetermine load cells on your weather radar. Very rarely do you do weather radar stuff in the sim. You know, unless you want to do a wind shear, then, you know, they have it set up. You just see a big red blob on your radar. Like, oh, look at that. Looks like we're going to get a wind shear. Oh, guess what? Wind shear, 50 feet. Toga wind shear, flaps. There we go. No flaps. That's not the wrong call. Don't say that. Toga wind shear. Follow the command bars. Do your thing. And clean up. But yeah, you don't use our level Ds for weather radar. That's line training stuff. But yeah, we did have some decent depiction on the screen here. All right, I think it's smooth enough. Let's go ahead and release the cabin crew. So I'll go ahead and give them a call here and say, yeah, how's it going, Captain? Like, yeah, you guys are good to get up now. Roger that. We'll get up and do our thing. Just use caution. Let's go ahead and manage this climb out. So now we're going to lower the nose. We're going to climb even slower. Let's see what our top altitude is here. Recommended max 352. We're going to be right at the limit. Let's go ahead and direct ourselves up here. Let's go direct to slipped. Direct to slipped. We're in the turn. Flyby. Damn, the flyby sounds themselves are worth it. Looks like there's some cloud reflections in the engines. I see this. I see that. You are correct. View, why does it say Boeing 738 on the overlay? Sort of been answered late to the stream. Joe, I don't know actually. I think it's because it has something to do with the plug-in. It's not registering what airplane I'm in. It just defaults to 738. Oh, goodness gracious. AJ Funari has dropped 10 gifted memberships to the channel. Mr. AJ Funari, my friend, appreciate you. If you pick up a gifted membership from AJ, shout him out. Let him know you're appreciative of that. Very kind of you, AJ. Right up your alley today with X-Plane 12, huh? Right up your alley today. Appreciate you, AJ. And I do have my banana cold foam mocha cold brew next to me right now, so appreciate you. Caleb W. gifting 5 memberships to the channel as well. Thank you very much, sir. Very, very kind. You pick up Caleb, let him know. Migs, all 3. Were you all timing that? Were you all timing that? Goodness, if you just typed a message within the last 30 seconds, I apologize, because we had 3 savages just destroy the chat box with membership donos. Guys, very, very kind. Migs dropping the 20 membership bomb to the channel. We're turning this chat green again, guys. I appreciate you. Thank you all, each and every one of you, for gifting those memberships to the channel. I think it's funny. I just look at the chat. I see everything happening, and I just see Alan Armour there. But the I love to Falk emoji pops up. You're all one of us now. I appreciate you. Very kind, y'all. Very, very kind. And JP has jumped on the membership gift train. Wow, you guys must be really excited to see X-Plane 12 today, huh? Daggum. JP, 5 memberships to the channel. Thank you as well. Thank you, thank you. Oh my goodness, it's still coming. It's Kyle. It's Kyle dropping 10 gifted memberships as well. My goodness me, we're going to run out of viewers. I appreciate you. It's Kyle. Very generous, man. Very generous, y'all. Very much appreciative of that. And if you pick up a membership, make sure you let them know that you received it and you enjoy it. And exclamation point welcome for your new perks here on the channel. Aviator Nick. Is this real life right now? Did I say something? What happened here? What happened here? Aviator Nick dropping 10 more memberships to the channel. Aviator Nick, very kind. One of us, Team Greens. We are the greenest airline on YouTube. Frontier is gonna have to come sue us because we are Team Green today in X-Plane 12. Thank you, Aviator Nick. Appreciate you. Very, very kind. Let's get some. If you're a new member, let's get some positive rates to those who just donated. AJ Funari, Caleb W, Miggs, JP, It's Kyle, and Aviator Nick. If y'all just picked up a membership, y'all get some positive rates in chat. Positive rates in chat. You guys are too kind. I can't thank y'all enough. Thank you for supporting the channel, y'all. Very, very kind of you. I appreciate it. Just monitoring our climb out here. We'll reset the chrono. Lone Sparrow didn't want that train to leave the station without him, gifting 5 more memberships as well. Lone Sparrow, very kind of you, sir. 65 gifted subs. Honestly, guys, what did I say? What did I say? This is insane. Andre Henry just gifted 10 more subs to the channel. What is going on? You guys are very, very, very kind. Too kind. I'm just gonna let this roll. Andre, thank you, my friend. I appreciate it. 75 gifted subs. Goodness. What did I say? What did I do? You all are... My goodness. Whatever I said, I appreciate y'all so much. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Really. From the bottom of my heart, I appreciate you. This train is about to overheat. Speaking of overheating, let me make sure my EGTs are back down. So we're back down. We're below the limit, but we did have an amber there on takeoff, which I've seen in high, hot temperatures before. So that was pretty cool to see the Toliss engine modeling. 10 from 10, no doubt. Xavier Beller has grabbed on to the caboose as well with 5 more memberships to the channel. 80 gifted memberships in like 3 minutes. That's got to be a record. YouTube's probably going to censor this stream, guys. I appreciate y'all. Thank you. Thank y'all. Very, very kind. Mix with the 5 Canadian dono on top of the membership dono. I'm really liking this X-Train X-Train 12 stream. Migs, thank you for that super chat. I appreciate you. Cam says, I think it was the PAX off departure. Heck, it might have been. We had so much happen there. I'm going to have to go back and watch that departure and see what happened. Real quick, guys, I gotta show you guys this. So let me turn the sounds down before we go outside. This view right here, this wall cloud, actually, I was actually better from this view. If you are a member, and if you are now a member, there should be no excuse for you not being a member now. But there are some shorts videos that I've posted. If you go look at them, you'll see a lot of times, not a lot of times, but every now and then whenever I encounter this, I take a shorts of it. South Florida, we get these big walls of thunderstorms that roll in mid-afternoon in the summertime. It's just what happens in Florida. That's why I tend to avoid Florida in the summer. And this looks pretty darn realistic, okay? The way these clouds have extensive vertical development here, there's some lower clouds with it. This is not inaccurate depiction of clouds in South Florida in the summertime by any means. So this actually looks really good. And if you are a member, go check out those shorts videos. You now have access to all that shorts content. So scroll through there, check out some vids, and let me know what you think. You can see it for yourself now. So This is pretty good. You know, and you can even see this. Look at this. You can even see the shadows of the clouds on the ground down there. This is, X-Plane has made, I would say this is probably the first, what kind of word would I use to describe this? This is like the first substantial update I've seen X-Plane drop since its release, if I'm being completely honest. And I know this is a beta version. This is 12.06 beta. But I really think this is the first like one where I've actually seen some substantial changes in the sim. So we're going to keep an eye on it. Look at our climb rate. Look at this, 900 feet a minute up to 340 with 23 knot tailwind. Goodness, yeah, this Toliss has got it right, man. Toliss Performance has got it right. This is, we'd be struggling out for sure. We're on the, we'd be struggling. I'm going to pause the alert box here. Don't let me forget, but I'm going to pause it now because we got 80 memberships to go to ding dong through. So I'm going to pause the alert box as we get up in the cruise here. This should have been the release. Yes, Slam, you just hit the nail on the head, my friend. If this is how X-Plane 12 dropped on release, I think you would have had a lot of less disappointment in the fan base of X-Plane 12, with myself included, because I'm gonna be completely honest. When I was getting ready to launch this stream today, I was like, man, X-Plane 12. All right, I know I love the Toliss, but I feel like we just went through the ringer on our last stream, doing all the failures and teaching and all that stuff. So it's like, all right, we're going to do that today. That's why I was running the failures up a little bit higher than normal. But after the takeoff here and we get through some of these clouds, I tell you what, I'm impressed with this beta update. So we're going to see what happens. We're going to continue to let this sim mature, and who knows? I mean, we're going to see what happens. We know the flight dynamics are great in X-Plane 12. There is no need to debate about that. So I think, Slam, you're absolutely right. If this was the release candidate of X-Plane 12, I think you would have had a lot less disappointment, because this, to me, is a substantial change. That whole departure was a substantial upgrade from an X-Plane 11 departure, even with add-ons, you know? What about that podcast? God dang, I'm going to have to do one, aren't I? Gustavo says, V1 making compliments to X-Plane. Hey, Gustavo, man, I'm just going to tell you how it is, man. Up until today, I have not been impressed with the X-Plane 12 drop. I haven't. So I'm not going to compliment something that I don't really think deserves compliments, other than the devs, which I think Toliss is by far the best dev in X-Plane. So combine it with this Soundpack, I could see now, if I had orthos done for all of the United States, if I had good quality orthos done, I had some airport sceneries now, and this weather right now, what we just went through, I'm kind of entertaining the idea of getting active sky now, because I watched a Q8 video where he did a comparison of default real weather and active sky real weather. Now, it's not 100% true, and it's not 100% good. It's just, I think, a little bit better than the default live weather. So now I'm contemplating even thinking about doing active sky, maybe getting some orthos in here. I really just want Orbix to get their stuff done for X-Plane 12, if they even are doing it. I don't know. Have they even said that they're working on upgrading their True Earth? I mean, if we had Orbix True Earth like the West Coast and Florida, man, I'd have that installed in a heartbeat. So I could definitely see. I'm curious to see what the screenshots are going to look like in the Discord, because I know y'all have some good add-ons, some good scenery downloaded, and with this latest beta coming out, I think we're going to start to see some screenshots hit the Discord where you actually got to look. Is that X-Plane 12 or is that Microsoft? I think we might start getting in that realm, which is good. You want to have a screenshot section that you have a hard time differentiating sims. That means both sims are doing a great job. When you see screenshots and you can tell which one's an X-Plane 12 from a mile away, then it's like, all right, same old X-Plane. But I think it's going to start to get very interesting, because I know there's a lot of you out there that have a hell of a lot looking better sim than I do. You can see here, that's that big cloud. I shouldn't even say cloud. That's that big storm system. Pretty vertical, but I mean, it's not in the middle of nowhere. It makes sense to be where it is right now. Makes sense to be where it is. All right, we've leveled off. Let's go ahead and do some work here. Cap Shack Oatmeal has joined the chat. Good to see you, Shack Oatmeal. Everyone got mandoed last night at work. Had a 19-hour shift, 6 to 1. Slept in my car, went back to work this morning at 0600. Goodness. Shack Oatmeal, appreciate you, man. Thanks for your dedication on the ramp, dude. That is that's you know, I always knew Shaq was legit just from listening to a couple of his streams, but that is some work ethic that is hard to find these days, Shaq. So I commend you for that. That is hardcore, dude. That is very hardcore. Welcome to the stream, man. Get some rest tonight, dude. What are you doing on stream? You should be going to bed right now, dude. Or getting ready to fire up the sim yourself, I bet. Do some yip jet ops. OZ Wannabe. Ron, good to see you. Says, there's nothing close to Toliss, not even in Microsoft. These guys walk the walk and skip the talk. OZ Wannabe. Thanks for the 25 super chat there. Appreciate you. Toliss is phenomenal when it comes to their airplanes. I'm straight up. Let's talk, and just to prove my point, let me turn the seatbelt sign off. Let's come down here. We need to recap that whole departure because there was just too much happening. We last minute decided we were going to go PAX off. We go full Toga thrust, PAX off. We have an amber EGT. Then we have an actual green hydraulic pump failure on the departure procedure. There was just so much going on. We're trying to look at new clouds. We're in and out of the rain. It's turbulent. So let's go back here. I want to just talk to you about what it was so cool about that departure. So it was, what is it, like 35C on the ground in Lauderdale. We're in a heavy 321, 182,000 pounds, whatever, at takeoff. It's hot. It's humid. We elect to go PAX off. When you go PAX off, you're now going to allow the engines to work harder for thrust because you're no longer taking any thrust away from the engines with the pack demand. And we actually had an EGT approach its limit. It actually went over. It was 611. Now, it didn't throw an ECAM, which it wouldn't in real life because it's not over the limit on the 321. But I've actually seen this in Vegas. Well, why do we have a right? Are we in a turn? Oh yeah, we're in a turn. I was looking at the attitude indicator. I was wondering why we were turning right. We're losing an engine. Now I'm all hyper alert. Now we have another failure. But that EGT simulation was really, really well done coming out. And as soon as we lowered the nose, I don't know if you caught it, but as we lowered the nose and we let the airplane accelerate, there was two other things to dissect. We had the flap retraction speed was right there at our min clean or VLS speed. So I waited, and that is exactly what the auto flap retraction is designed for. Auto flap retraction on the Airbus is not designed for you to just take an empty 319 or a 320 or an empty 321 for that matter, all the way up to auto flap retraction. Because what happens when you're empty and light? Yes, they will still auto retract, but your rate of acceleration is at a speed or at a trend at which you could very easily still overspeed the slats that are going to be hanging out. So auto retraction by definition is meant and designed to be used when you are heavy and you are typically operating in either high density altitude or very high temperatures where you're going to have an associated high density altitude with you. So to see that come to, worked out perfectly, and you saw how slow that rate of that trend of acceleration was, even with the auto flap retraction. If you were super light, you'd be accelerating so fast right there, even with MCT, because we had that MCT in there a little bit longer than normal too. You could have very easily oversped the flaps, even with auto flap retraction. So it's important that you use the auto flap retraction system the way it's intended to be used, and that's hot and heavy, high density, altitude, high temp. Robert S., thanks for the £3 donation, man. Appreciate you. How about getting auto ortho up and running? Robert, I talked about this briefly before. The only reason I don't want to do auto ortho is because there's too much stuff running in the background. I think X-Plane as a platform, you just need to minimize all the stuff on the background because it's still, you can get the out-of-memory errors, you can get the DirectX, or what's that one other error, the Vulkan memory loss error, all that stuff. So I feel if I'm going to do ortho, I'm still going to do it the old school way. Maybe if I get a PC upgrade, I'll go into the auto ortho and maybe think about that. But and I talked to XP72 a little bit about this and when he was streaming the auto ortho, because it does take more resources from your PC to run auto ortho and X-Plane in the background. So we'll see, Robert S. I appreciate that £3 donation, but I'm sure some of y'all out there with some real beefy systems have got it running nice and smooth. Shaq Oatmeal, 23 months as a member, approaching 2 years. Shaq, one more month, dude. Appreciate the support. Very kind, man. Very, very kind. Ivamo, 100 Mexican pesos. I appreciate you, Ivamo. 100 Mexican pesos. Quality content, V1. Glad to see you back in Xpilandia. Ivamo, very, very kind. Thank you for that donation. I'm glad y'all are happy to see me back in the sim. I'm gonna be honest, I'm happy to actually see what I saw there on that departure. That was pretty sweet. So looks like we've got a couple airplanes behind us too, Conan back there. God, that flyby is sweet too. But thank you, Ivamo. Very kind for that donation. We're going right up your alley here into Cancun. I always love flying into Cancun. It's always fun. It always brings enjoyment to me. And for some reason in the sim, we always get some shenanigans start to pop off, which we definitely already had some shenanigans. I cleared out that green hydraulic pump, or else you guys would be listening to that PTU run the whole flight. So either way. Shaq loves to Fokker. Shaq Oatmeal, you flying that Fokker, man? I spent $78 for those Pro Desk Sim Fokker levers, and I've been tracking them. When they get delivered, we're going to do some Fokker flying because I want to let y'all know to see if they are worth it or not. So we'll see what happens when those get popped out. Auto Ortho is a bit heavy on CPU. X-Plane 12 got some big CPU usage optimization needed to be done. James, that's kind of what I came to conclude as well when I was talking to XP72 about it and how he's got his Auto Ortho set up and all that. So, whoa, what did I just hit? Bro, we're in DCS right now. Wingnut, where you at? Call the ball. I don't know what I just hit. I thought I hit flyby view, and I ended up on a carrier. That was interesting. Migs dropping a $20 super chat. Migs. Very generous. Thank you. Thank you. Too kind. Random questions. Oh boy, let me get a sip of coffee before we tackle this. Migs, random questions. Have you ever done a shared cockpit stream? Yes, I have. I've done 2 with Phantom 320, former real-world Airbus pilot. He's now an air traffic controller. We still talk. I don't know where he's at. We got to get it. We got to do another shared cockpit stream. But I did that on X-Plane 11, Migs, 2 of those. Which other flight sim streamers would you pick given the choice? Would be an interesting stream to see you follow different airline regional SOPs and vice versa. Migs, I think it would be very challenging to fly with other real-world pilot streamers for that reason you bring up. If the SOPs are completely different, which they are for different airlines, without me knowing or without them knowing what to do, it's like having 2 guys that aren't real airline pilots up there, because one guy's going to do one thing, the other guy's going to do one thing. It's not smooth. You're going to miss the whole concept of a 2-crew environment. That's why I really enjoyed doing a multi-crew with Phantom, because it was seamless, it was smooth. We flew for the same operator, we had the same SOPs, so it was just like I knew what he was going to do next, he knew what I was going to do next, and that's how the 2-crew environment is run. When you mix that up, yes, you can still do it, and it'd be fun, it'd be entertaining, but you would miss a lot of that purpose of 2-crew environment. Who would I pick? Well, I'd love to do a flight with Flight Deck to sim in the 7.3, because doesn't matter what SOPs are. I don't know that airplane. Like, he knows that airplane, and I think it would be fun to just mess around, and vice versa. Have him in the Airbus, and then, I think that would be cool. I would love to do one with Q8, because he's the one that got me into X-Plane in the very, very first place. So I think it would be neat to just sit up there with Q8, watch him do his thing. I'll just be pilot monitoring, maybe give him a tip or two, I think that'd be fun. And of course, XP72, I've said it from the get-go. I remember following XP72 when he was, I think he had like 5,000 or 6,000 subs, maybe less, maybe like 3,000 subs. So, and I could name a ton. If we had a really easy, seamless shared cockpit system, man, I'd want to fly with all of them. Shaq, Wrong Side, to anybody who would want to. I think it would be fun. But the problem is we lack the proper shared cockpit tools right now. I think it's still kind of being worked on. Nothing is smooth, Always seems to be issues. That's why that was just a view of your diversion airport here in Oceanic Airspace. Close hold. Mouth tester, good to see you, man. Welcome. All right, one thing we do need to do though, as we reach the ETP here, what do? We're gonna mix it up. We're gonna move that ETP. So, where is our Avi tab? No, you know we don't need the Avi tab for this. We go. Actually, we can do it right here, I guess. Let's go maps. We got to move our ETP as we're feet wet here. Because after Lauderdale, I don't really care about the equi-time point. I want to know where am I going to go if the airplane catches fire, right? So closest divert airports, we could go back to Cuba, which, depending on the season, may or may not be recommended. Miami's back. Could put Fort Myers in there. What is, like... What's Havana's identifier? I would definitely put Havana in there. Anyone got an identifier for Havana? And we're going to shift this ETP. So to do that, we're going to come here, we'll go equi-time point, and I'm going to keep Cancun there because Cancun is right on the tip of the coast. So it's a good spot to go, but I don't really care about Lauderdale anymore. If we caught fire right now, I'm not going to Lauderdale. I'm going to probably closest airports. It's going to be one of these. Muha? That's what it is. It's Muha, right? Yeah, it is Muha. Muha, 74 miles away. So what I could do is, if I want to know where Lauderdale is, I'd put Lauderdale there in that page just so I know. That's not going to change. But then I'm going to go back. I'm going to go data. I'm going to go equi-time point, and we're going to shift this, and we can actually pop this out and watch it happen, I believe. So you can see we're just about to hit the ETP, but now I'm going to change it. I'm going to do it from Muha to Lauderdale. So Muhaha. Now it should move a little bit further out. We'll see. There we go. And now, man, I feel like they've cleaned up this ND a lot too. Doesn't the ND look cleaner? Look better? Other than the terrain limitation there in the sim. But so now, at this point, if we lose an engine, or not an engine, if we catch fire, I'm going to Muha. Depending on the nature of the emergency or the nature of the fire, we may consider going back to Lauderdale if we got the fire out, but most likely not going to happen. I'm going to turn right back around and go to a close airport. Now, if I hit this ETP now, if anything happens, we catch fire, we're just going to go straight. We're going to Cancun. And this just gives me, all this does by modifying that ETP, doesn't change any performance in the airplane or anything like that, but it gives me that instantaneous decision to know where I'm going in a high stress, high shock value situation. So immediately by looking at my ND, if something's on fire, I know, hey, we got a 180, let's get out of here, let's start our diversion instead of pressing on, right? So that's what the ETP modification is for. Really helpful when you're going out over water, out over the 48, contiguous 48 states. There's an airport pretty much every 15 minutes everywhere you look. So, but once you're out over the water, once you start flying in other countries where they're not that accessible, then that ETP modification becomes more and more important. And I'd say most important, especially when you're out over water. Can U.S. Airlines even divert to Cuba? Yes, of course. I've flown into Cuba, actually. We used to have flights to Cuba. Now, I don't know if we still... Yeah, we still have flights to Cuba. Let's do a 360 and get the hell out of here. Exactly. Exactly. All right, with that done, we do have failures on, though. So let's just kind of breeze through here. Make sure we're not missing anything crazy. All our hydraulics are fixed. Everything else looks good, and status is normal. So everything looks good there. Let's do a flyby, and then we'll park it on the outside view. We'll enjoy some outside views. And let's get back to talking about sound set, because this sound set is just freaking sweet. I don't know where I want to park it, though. How did I do that view before? Is it C? Nope. I used to have a way to do... Oh, let's do a slow motion flyby. This one's kind of fun, too. V1 flight deck to sim shared cockpit would have 500 live viewers, 5,000 live viewers for sure. I don't know, at 5,000, that'd be pretty insane. It would sure be interesting, though. Because the reason I bring that, why I bring up flight deck to sim is because there are things when I'm on the... maybe it was shift 5. Nope. There are things that happen to me when I am on the 737 that I'm just like, man, I wish I had a type-rated 7.3 pilot here to just bang some questions off of, I think it'd be cool to do that. Like, oh, we're doing this. I'm like, why do we do it that way? You know, and have someone as sharp as Flightbox to Sim to be there and answer the question and explain it. So that's why I think that would be kind of a neat concept. And it doesn't really matter about SOPs at that point because you don't know the airplane anyway. The K prefix was assigned by International and by ICAO for Continental. Yes, it is. So all U.S. airports are K in front, correct. Except Hawaii. Hawaii is different, isn't it? Hawaii's got some funky ones. And Alaska, too. Or does Alaska have K? Can't remember. When you look at SimWare map, it very much looks like Flight Radar 24. So many people flying, which is great. Good deal, man. P for Pacific. There we go. Yeah, P for region. There we go. P for Pacific region. Hawaii and Alaska have P. There you go. Yeah, Pank. Yeah, that's right. Pankridge. H for Hawaii. Yeah, HNL. Yeah. But it's PHNL, though, so I see. Yeah, still Pacific. Hawaii, Alaska, and all the U.S. Pacific territories. There you go. All right, I'm going to spin this around here, and then we're going to get our... Let's do this. Let's do this view right here. And then let's see what we got on the old... We only have a few minutes, but let's see if we have a couple of tunes. Yeah? Turn down the sim a little bit more. There we go. Man, I would love a nice 321 in Microsoft, wouldn't you? That looks pretty clean right there, y'all. I'm not gonna lie. That looks clean. T West was genius. So I heard that when they went to 3-letter identification requirement, X was put on the end. So like KLAX, they just didn't have anything out there. Like they didn't have another letter, so they put an X next to it. Where's the Fokker cabin music? Latin VFR with fly-by-wire compatibility isn't too bad, but I hear you. Ooh, no. The problem with that is I want my Neo to fly like a Neo. I don't want my 319 to fly like a Neo, because a 319 doesn't fly like a Neo. And if you don't believe me, get in X-Plane, buy the Toliss airplanes, and you can tell, even though they're the same Airbus, they all have their own unique characteristics. The 319 flies like a 319. 321 is the dog of all three of them. Now, if you go super light on the 321, it's actually quite powerful. And in some instances, if you really lighten the load, you have a thrust to weight ratio similar to that of a 7.5. But the difference is a 7.5 can do it at like max weight. So there's no comparison between airframes. But I tell you what, after repoing a couple empty 321s, like during the COVID and all that, they are tanks. I mean, any airplane really is a beast when it's empty. But I was particularly impressed by the 321 when we are extremely light. It has got some serious performance, especially Sharklet. And the 320 is very much of in the middle of them when you look at their characteristics. So that's my problem when I think about the fly-by-wire plus Latin VFR airplanes. It's going to make them fly like the fly-by-wire, which the fly-by-wire flies good because it flies like the fly-by-wire should fly, 320 Neo. But, man. Captain, all years of flying, do you ever just stand back and admire the machine you're flying? Yes, Wallach, I do. And matter of fact, every time y'all say something like that in the chat, it reminds me the next time I go flying to do it, because I think that is important to maintain that perspective, because it's easy, and it may seem strange from someone who isn't a pilot to think, oh, how could you not think your job is absolutely amazing every single time you step into the cockpit? Which the reality of it is, while that may be true, when you are grinding 3, 4, 5 legs a day for 3, 4, 5 days in a row, it's very easy to get sucked into that. Oh my gosh, this is just you're tired, you're fatigued. You know, it becomes very much a regular job, I guess, so to say. So it's important that you do take that time to step back and realize hey, enjoy the moment, enjoy what you're doing. And typically when it happens to me, I think about it right during pushback. That's when I normally get that thought of it. Like, even all the stresses at the gate, you're late, all the stuff is, maintenance, need maintenance, the flight attendant issue, passenger issue, don't have enough fuel, now we're over fuel, now we need an amendment, now something broke. And then finally when you clear to push, brakes release, clear to push. That's my favorite phrase to say in the airplane. Brakes release, clear to push. Because at that point, we've done our checks, we've done our maintenance, everything is good. We are going now. Everything is squared away. You don't release the brakes until you are squared away. So when I say brakes release, clear to push, it's like a sigh of relief, and that's typically the moment where I sit back and be like, man, I am truly blessed to be doing what I'm doing. Balance in everything is important. Very true, Chaos. And I think that same attitude should be taken no matter what your job is, no matter what your career field is. If you're doing something completely different, maybe you're in construction, or maybe you're in something in the tech industry, like whatever it is you do, I'm sure at some point you suffer from, why am I doing this? Or this is, I don't feel like doing this today. But at the end of the day, when you look back on what you've accomplished, like, all right, that was cool. So it's important to have balance in everything you do. It really is. Until you get an ECAM on takeoff. Yeah, Kyle Ferris. That's true, man. I love it. In our book, it says, so for the captain in our book, when the brake's released and you're pushing back, everybody has, so in our checklist, in our main procedures, it has your flow items, your checklist items, and then it has what we call the expanded procedures. These are things that are done that are not written anywhere. So flow patterns, or mostly just flow patterns, right? So you do a before start flow, and then you do a before start checklist, which is half, if that, of your actual flow. But in the expanded for captain during pushback, it just says one thing. You know what it says? Monitor pushback. That is the captain's job, is to just monitor. You're monitoring where they're pushing you. Are they pushing you in the right direction? You just sit back, look at the heavies. Meanwhile, the FO's down there scrambling. He's got another runway change. He's trying to do a cross-bleed start, and I just get to sit there, tilt the seat back a little bit, have a sip of coffee, and just enjoy it. That's why I like Chicago. There's a lot of enjoyment from the left seat Chicago. But if you're an FO in Chicago, runway change, you don't know which runway you're going off of, they change it 4 times before you get there, it can be stressful, no doubt. How do you descend? ISO mentality. If you need to know how to descend in the Airbus, check out my Airbus Professional series. It's pre-recorded. Basically, you got to put a lower altitude in the window and pull the knob or push the knob. FO is knees and elbows deep. Yeah, Shaq. We got a term for it. Probably not YouTube appropriate, but has to do with, yeah. We have a phrase. I'll text you, Shaq. I'm gonna text you right now. But yeah, the FO is knees and elbows deep in the box, no doubt. I probably need to start down. All right. How far we got? 40 miles. 40 miles. Okay. Damn it. I didn't want to fall in love with X-Plane 12 again. That shot right there, the old US Airways livery. Damn. I love the 321. Look at those IAEs on there, too. Look at those IAEs. I did not want this to happen. I did not want this to happen. Your latest YouTube short. You like that, Davza? Yeah, well. Shaq, you got it? Good deal. What's the purpose of calling ECAM electric page, cycling the batteries, checking if the amperage is lower than 16? Renan, that's to verify that the batteries are at an adequate level of charge before pushback. Also to make sure they haven't been drained from the night before, because you only do that test when you're swapping crews or getting into a new airplane that you haven't been in. You don't do it every single leg. So you don't know if the batteries were left on. Maybe you have one battery that was left on. This is just a quick and easy way to verify that your batteries are in good working order before pushing off. Because the Airbus in particular, electrical power is the lifeblood of this airplane. Yes, hydraulic fluid is the lifeblood of the airplane as well, but without electrical power, if you have no electrics and you have hydraulics, you're still screwed. You need some form of electrical power to move the surfaces in this airplane. So even though in direct law mechanical backup, all that means is you have a electrically activated, hydraulically actuated THS. So if you don't have an electric signal to send to the box to move the THS, you're still not going to be able to move it manually. So you need electrical power. So you want to make sure your batteries are in good working order. MiGs drop in another 10 Canadian. MiGs, very, very kind. Appreciate you. V1 a shared cockpit failure stream with an EU co-pilot and flying in Africa or Asia would be peak YouTube entertainment though, wouldn't it? Devil's advocate exit stage left. MiGs. Well, you know an EU co-pilot flying in Africa and Asia? That would be pretty interesting, no lie. It would be, I would probably be pretty funny though. MiGs, thank you for the 10 Canadian super chat. Appreciate you. And that's too kind. I'm gonna have to look into it. I've been saying this before. When we have a really good shared co-pilot system, I will jump on that train. No, I will. But we need one that's stable, runs smooth, and has got good syncing. Flightbox the Sim isn't an EU pilot. He's British. XP looks good, but the cactus livery is mixed. Yes, I agree, Shaq. This livery makes this look beautiful, especially this side here with the sun shining on it. We're probably getting close to the top of descent. What do we have, 40 miles? 20 miles? We need to, I need a METAR. Can someone give me a METAR in chat here? What's the bottom? Let's just set like, what's this? AMPUS at or below 14,000. So I'm going to set 14,000 right here. And we are fast approaching. So 14 is set. We'll let this song finish out. We'll do another flyby here. And then we're going to start on down. Ooh, Black Box 711. Yeah, see, the only reason I don't want to do a multi-crew with Black Box is because he's going to make me look like an idiot. That dude is the smartest, probably smartest pilot on YouTube verse that I know of. That dude is sharp. He knows it all. He's been around. He's been doing it longer than I have. He is very, very knowledgeable. But no, it would be fun. It would be fun to do one with him as well. Especially since he got me into the FS Labs. Alright. Where is this coming out? That's coming down, and we're going to go ahead and start down right now. We got 14 set for the initial. I asked for a METAR. I got 76 of them. Love it. You guys are awesome. What do we have here? Oh, that looks like they're all... Who's got the latest one? Gustavo. Gustavo seems legit. I'm gonna listen to his. 180 at 100 at 8. 100 at 8 knots. Temperature is 32. Goodness, this is the one. I guess it is Mexico. 32 degrees. QNH is 3005. And we'll pull up the MDA for ILS DME 12 left. Thank you guys. Appreciate you. I would say the clouds and X-plane look much better than the start. Agreed. If you spot a problem during pushback, say you think there might be a collision, is there an abort procedure? Oh, of course. Of course, Romulus. And believe it or not, I've had to actually do that when we were pushed into a catering truck. So I'm gonna pause the music, and then it's ending anyway. I'm gonna turn up the sim. Now, as we're on our descent, I'll just tell you real quick. I think I told this story, but I was on a 320. I think it was a 320 going to LA. And we were pushed into a catering truck on the wingtip, and it bent this wingtip fence in significantly. So I didn't even know this was a thing. I guess I did. It just never came to my mind because I think like the very first Airbus didn't even have a wingtip fence. But maintenance came out and they removed the wingtip fence from the aircraft. So we thought, okay, they're going to remove the wingtip fence. We're going to get everybody, we're just going to continue on and go. We had everybody boarded up, obviously. We were pushing back. We kept everybody on the airplane. So we're just going to go back to the gate, deplane, They're going to pull the wingtip fence off, and then we're going to load up and go. So we go through all the steps. Go back to the gate, deplane. Maintenance is doing their thing for like 2 hours. Got to get all this extra paperwork. Start the boarding process. Everybody's back on board. And I start running preliminary numbers. And I don't do this every single flight. I just, for some reason, I was like, I'm going to send the estimated takeoff weight, because you can do, for us on our ACARS performance data, you can send an estimated takeoff weight to get estimated speeds back. And it's not speeds that you use, but you can see your estimated full takeoff with everything, all your fuel burn and all the current winds in the box. And I don't do this every flight. For some reason, I just did it on this one. And it came back invalid. And I was like, why is this coming back invalid? And it turns out that the MEL for removing a wingtip fence was like I think it was like 20,000 pound weight penalty. But because we were going Atlanta to LA, and it was a headwind, it was wintertime, we had a bunch of gas on board because it was low weather in LA and high winds because it's wintertime going to westbound, we couldn't go. The airport said we couldn't go. It's insufficient, we're overweight, we can't go. And I just got lost in all of the paperwork. I mean, it shows on the MEL that there is a weight penalty, but I guess I read over that and assumed that was already accounted for. But because of the fuel we already had on board, we weren't going to defuel. Defueling in the U.S. doesn't really, I don't want to say it doesn't exist, but it's very, very rare that you will defuel an airliner in the U.S. You'll most likely just kick people off or kick payload off and still go. So defueling really wasn't an option. At least the company said it wasn't really an option. So we ended up having to cancel the flight because we could not go with that 20,000 pound weight penalty for missing a wingtip fence. And I remember being blown away. I was like, that's crazy that it's actually that much back and read into again. But yeah, you can definitely stop. There's a procedure for stopping the pushback and everything's got to be done. And anyway, but yeah. True story. Mick Shiggity, thanks for the $10 super chat. Appreciate you. Says, do you remember your first solo flight? Of course I do, Mick Shiggity. Mine was back on 2/1/1975 Piper Cherokee, November 56694. Where was yours? Mine was Deer Valley. Oh, my first solo flight. My first solo was out of DeLand. No, it wasn't DeLand, Florida. I don't actually remember now, McShiggity. I remember the day, I remember the flight. I don't remember the tail number because it was with the flight school and we had a bunch of different tail numbers. I know I have a picture of it. I got a little picture and a plaque of it, McShiggity. But I know it was in November, and it was a Cessna 172. It was a Cessna 172. I don't remember the tail number on it. And I came drawing a blank on the airport. It was just south of Daytona Beach, Florida, wherever that airport is. Little airport just south of Daytona Beach is where my first solo was. My first ever solo. My first flight ever, I remember that. That was a 150. I remember my first 3 flights, probably more so than my first solo. My first 3 flights, first one, caught fire. Second one, we lost all radio comms. And the third one was basically severe turbulence, just borderline uncontrollable the whole flight. So I remember those first 3 very vividly. I also remember my first solo, but there was a lot. My first solo, I remember the flight. I remember the feeling of coming in on approach for the very first time, coming in over the water. It wasn't Myrtle, but there was a lot of personal things going on in my life. I had there was death in the family and just some issues with women in my life, and it was a lot going on. And I remember getting in that airplane and just feeling so at home, feeling so much comfort. Yeah, it was weird. It was like getting in the airplane was my release, so to speak. So and I remember that first solo. I remember taxiing out. I remember coming in on the final. You go right over a road and like an intercoastal. I can't think. New Smyrna. That's what it is. Key 6. New Smyrna Beach. That's what it is. New Smyrna. That's where yours was too. Key 6. Nice, dude. Absolutely, yeah. New Smyrna Beach. Thanks for the 23 months support, Key 6, by the way. Yeah, that's where it was. It was in New Smyrna, and then I was so excited after it happened, and my instructor ended up, he's like, oh, since you just flew it, I'm going to fly it back. We're going back to Daytona. I was like, really? Dude, I'm all hopped up. I want to fly it. And that's probably why he didn't want me to fly it back, because I was so excited. But yeah, man, it was a good time. Never forget the first solo. It's time to go to work, though. Y'all distracted me. Let's go ahead and get here. Women problems being in your late teens, early 20s, name a more iconic duo. Exactly, Steven. Exactly. All right, 250 knots for Hacho. Let's go ahead and get the speed brakes out. Let's slow down. We're already descending past that. 3005. Transition is 18.5. So we're on the descent. Look at this VLS shooting up here in a heavy 321. Look at that. That's some scary stuff right there, my friends. All right, we're below 20. We're coming back to 250 knots. Mexican radar, so it's right. Sometimes we make it, sometimes we don't. We're a little bit fast at Hacho. We're looking good though. We're on the arrival. ILS DME 3, 1-2 left. It's all synced up. The minimums, we should pull the minimums up. So let's go back here. Avitap, airports, Cancun, approach, ILS DME 3, 1-2 left. I'm going to have to do a tally on my logbook, see how many times I've landed on this runway or at Cancun. Because when I was a senior FO, all I bid for was Cancun turns out of Dallas. So that was my schedule all month. Dallas, Cancun back, Dallas, Cancun back. I'm surprised I don't remember this by heart. 250 on the DA. 250. That's done. We'll get our LS push buttons on. LS push buttons on. There's 18.8. We set 18.5 as transition, so we'll set 3005. They're all synced up. 3005 is set. We'll go ahead and get the seatbelt sign on. Flight attendants prepare the cabin for arrival. Sounds are up. Let's enjoy the sound set on this one. I'm going to bump the sounds all the way up. If it's too loud, if it starts to like get over my voice, let me know. But I really want to get the sounds out there because this sound set is a must-have. You will hear nothing else from me on X-Plane 12 and Toliss than the KOSP Soundpack. Absolute must-have. Absolute must-have. I did my first solo at Daytona with a DA-40. Ooh, nice. We got Riddle. Man. The first 320 100 aircraft didn't have the wingtip fence. They made 20 units without the wingtip fences. There you go. Thank you for that, Renan. I knew they made a few without them, and then they were standard. But yes, so when they pulled the fence off, it actually looked kind of cool. I wonder if we could pull the fence off. Maybe we could bug Toliss, be like, hey, can you make an option to remove the wingtip fences? There's probably zero data on the performance of a 320-100 without wingtip fences, but it looked cool. It looked like a 757, a proper 757 without winglets. American bare metal livery, dirty, no winglets. I cannot wait. If we get one of those in Microsoft, the first flight we're going to do is Miami to somewhere in Colombia. Bare metal 757, no winglets, out of Miami. Dawn departure. There's a video someone made on FSX probably over a decade ago. Well over a decade ago, I'm sure. It was like, I forget what it was called. You might be able to find it on YouTube. But it was like a cinematic video of a 7.5 departing Miami and going to Colombia. I think it was Colombia. And I watched that video, I don't know, probably 100 times. Matter of fact, I'm going to see if I can find it right now and put a link in chat. Right now, everything is looking good. I'm going to go ahead and turn the terrain off. I'll put terrain on the first officer's screen. I have weather up on my screen in case we... Look at this. Look at these clouds, y'all. This is pretty good. I don't know... Now, like I said, I don't know how realistic this is as to the current real weather in Cancun. However, seeing this type of cloud development, some of these are a little interesting, but it's not totally abnormal. I like seeing properly non-overly exaggerated vertical development clouds because that does happen quite a bit, especially in the summertime. So seeing a little bit of vertical development there, vertical development. This looks very good. I will say that I'm impressed with this beta update so far. Honestly, I was not expecting to be impressed. I thought I was going to be disappointed, and it was just going to be another X-Plane 12 stream. But no, this is actually very rather impressive. All right, there is no ATC online, so UNS 505 is a mandatory at 3,000. We'll set 3 right here in the box. We'll keep on coming down. We're on profile, 250K knots. Atmos at or below 14. The airplane is doing good. Flyby. I like this livery too because he adds a lot of dirty wing textures. Now, do you want wing view or window view? I always kind of just hack through the window view because it's got that tint on it. But Have you been following the Bluebird 7.5? Jeremy, yes I have. That's what I'm referring to. As soon as that Bluebird 7.5 drops, we're going to do it. Have to do the shift. Oh yeah, I'm going to do the shift 1 flyby for you, and while you watch that, I'm going to see if I can find this video on YouTube. It was FSX, I believe it was Captain Sim. Well, that was weird. I opened up YouTube homepage and I saw my own thumbnail like live. I'm like, I'm live? Oh, yeah. FSX 757 Miami to, I don't know, cinematic. Let me see if I can find it. I can even remember, I'll give you another one. I can even remember the song. Maybe I can play it. Was it this one? No. I don't want to get... Oh gosh, I got too many tabs open here. Hold on. Let's go back in here. Everything is looking good. We need a little bit of speed brake. We're getting ready to go through 10,000. Yeah, they're a little bit chunky for sure. The windows are definitely a little bit chunky. Man, I really want to find this video. It may have been removed. I'm determined to find the video now, and I can't find it. Alright, I'll have to look somewhere else. On that slow flyby, it might be pretty awesome when showing the landing. Gnar, that is a great point, my friend. Great point. Alright, we're going through 10,000 feet. We'll get the wing lights on. We'll get the landing lights on. And because there's no ATC, we'll just get everything on so I don't forget. But normally you would wait. We'll go ahead and select speed now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and select 220 because that's our next restriction. I'm going to select 220k knots. We're going to go perf, activate, confirm the approach phase. We'll go ahead and get a little more speed brake situation in there. Those look like Rolls-Royce engines. I know, Josh. That's why IEs, man. IEs, I am changing the trend on Airbus. Anybody who likes CFMs, you will like IEs better. I promise you. Just look how beautiful they look. And they really were, I mean, on the 321, look how good that looks. I don't know. I think, it's my personal taste, I just love the way the IEs look. I know the flower pedal reversers are a really, really nice feature for a lot of fans of the CFMs. Oh, here comes a turn. Cigar 2. Aaron, well, you're the Irish lad. Of course you're going to like CFMs. Look at that. That looks amazing. How do I get rid of the chat box for vPilot? I probably should make some radio calls. All right, look at our speeds because we're so heavy. Are we below max? 170. What's our max landing weight? 171,519. Guys, we are actually a little bit heavier than the max landing weight right now. Let's go ahead and extend flaps 1. Should we land anyway? Slats are coming out. I was muted on VATSIM at Lauderdale. RIP. No fuel dump. Well, now I'm curious if I do a landing perf data, Cancun 1-2 left, anti-ice off, full, reverse on, compute, overweight. Yeah, we're overweight. I'll tell you what, let's do a go around. I'll tell you what. Because y'all were such good sports with the takeoff, like smashing, I will do a go around. We'll set up, we'll do a go around, and then we'll see how much fuel a go around actually burns on the 321. And I want to compare it to real world numbers. So we're going to take note of our fuel at the execution of a go around, and then we're going to come back around and we're going to try it again. So we'll go ahead and secondary, we'll copy the active, and I'm going to make it even easier. We'll go arrival, no star, ILS 12 left, secondary, oh hold on, secondary, arrival, ILS TME 3, 12 left, no star, no via, insert. So now the secondary should just have, other than the, yep, it just has the ILS approach for 12 left. I blame Wrong Side Sim. If y'all are a fan of Wrong Side Simulations. Oh, we do. Oh, you know what? I was muted. Yeah, we have failure. Someone said we were muted. RMP2, RMP3 comms. Oh, that's over here. We lost some communications, and RMP3 up there is also out. That sucks. Good thing we don't need it. But we do need to get down. Center of Aviation, yes, I think it is 100% worth the beta update. I would say that. Typically, I am very much anti-beta. Especially as a content creator, I am anti-beta, but this one I think is worth the risk. I'm gonna let it spool up here, burn some more gas on me. Should get a speed brake ding. Oh, go around and change the time to sunset. Aha, Gustavo. All right, that's the deal. That's what we're doing. We're gonna do a go around. There's a speed brake, Amber. Cool. So we're gonna do a go around, then I'll come back around and we'll change the time to sunset. Don't let me forget. Don't let me forget. 4.6 for 3. We need to be at 200 knots. So I need to make sure 122.8. The radio knob sounds are very good too. A subtle but much needed change. A little bit more speed brake. Dang, she's a heavy bird to bring down right now. She is struggling to slow up here. Getting high on path too. Now we're at S-speed trap. So now we gotta go ahead and go sketch mode here. Watch this. We're right at S-speed trap. Gotta get flaps 2 out, but we're right on the line. We're probably gonna overspeed. Speed brakes are out. Come on, baby. There's your flaps, wingnut. We were right at S-speed trap. I'm gonna keep coming down, 180. Let's keep slowing down. I don't think there's another speed restriction after that. Or damn. Maybe one of these days we can have a short night flight, LA to Vegas. What is... That would be... That's not a bad idea. Because I don't have ortho, but what if we just do it at nighttime? You don't need ortho at night. Could do a night flight, LA to Vegas. Alright, we're looking good now. Rydug's at 3. We're at 3,000. Okay. Oops, I'm listening to myself on 2. We don't want that. That's going to be annoying. Oh, but 2 is already jacked up. I can't change 2. I guess I got to turn it off. So I can't listen to myself. There we go. Listen to those engines spooling up as we level at 3,000. Did y'all hear that? Oh, that's awesome. So I've got my sounds up all the way right now, so you can hear them louder than normal. But that spool up when we leveled at 3 was awesome. What's our fuel burn? Right now we're burning 3,500 pounds a side at 3,000. Damn. What fix are we inbound? We are Rydug. Cancun traffic, Cactus 357 over Rydug 3000. We're making the turn for the ILS DME 3, 12 left, Cancun. I guess it would help if I put the receive on number 12. This is a pretty accurate, low-level cloud feeling here. The lighting through this cloud is pretty decent. I want to see what it looks like when we break out on the bottom of it. Remember, we're doing 2 approaches. We're going to do a go-around. We'll do, I tell you what, we'll do a bulk landing go-around. We'll take it all the way down. We'll do a bulk landing go-around. Guys, if you like this sound pack, not even if you like it, if you fly the Toliss Airbuses, exclamation point sound, go pick up this sound pack, get rid of BSS, uninstall it. Don't need to deal with it anymore. The way you have to make different profiles and all that nonsense. This is the most efficient and epic sound pack for the X-Plane platform. Hands down. I mean, just listen to those IEs screaming out there. Definitely got some chop out there. We did turn the seatbelt sign on, yeah? Yeah, we did. Cancun traffic, Cactus 357, 3000, turning inbound ILSD and me312 left. Now I can hear myself on 2. But the problem is, oh, they're linked up. RIP. What if I listen on 2? But, oh, because the RMP is out. What? Wait a second. Hold on. Can I use this? Yes, now I shouldn't hear myself talk. Cancun traffic, disregard. Yep, see, now I can't hear myself. Damn, that's the first time I've ever had to use that. The radio switching panel, audio switching panel. So I put it Captain 3. Now I've isolated myself from the broken RMPs that are out. RMP 2 and 3 are out. I am not using XP Realistic, no. All right, let's go ahead and approach. Activate. So we are glide slope blue, locus captured, Cat 3 dual, autopilot 1+2. This is coming up. We don't need replay in it. Replay, because we have native replay. We're already flaps 2. We're 180 knots. Touchdown zone is about 1,000. Is about 100 feet or 50 feet really. So we'll just take it down to 2,000. I'll tell you what. We'll do 2 separate. I want to see how this airplane handles at max weight. So I'm going to leave the autopilot engaged for this approach. I want to see how it handles a go-around. We'll do a super... I almost want to say I want to do a bulk landing, but I don't want to do that. We'll take it down low, and then we'll go around before disengaging the autopilot. I want to see how the Toliss handles a go-around with the autopilot engaged. So that's we're going to scratch the bulk landing. We're going to do a full autopilot go-around. The airplane can do it. I want to see how the Toliss handles it here. Although that coming out of the little lower layer there, it looks pretty darn good, y'all. We're still IMC up front. I could do that flyby sound all day long. You know that you're now apparently re-enamored with X-Plane. Felis 742 on the way down to Australia. Oh, Matthew, don't tempt me, dude. Oh, who said that? Oh, Steven. Don't tempt me, Steven. Here comes a glide slope. Slope's alive. What I want to see, I'm going to try to stay in cockpit view here because I want to see how it looks like from up front as we break out on the base of these clouds. There's glide slope star. Go around altitude is, I believe, 3,000. No. Yes, ground altitude is 3,000 feet. Ground altitude's out, set 3,000 blue. Glide slope. I'd have to learn how to fly that 742 again, though. You can see here proper ECAM audio 3 transferred. This is the missed approach right here. Looks climbing left turn. We're going to see what happens. All right, we are ready to manage it up. Now we're going to take it down about 2,000 feet. We're already at 180 knots.
$2,500.
Listen to that. Did you hear that call out? Ooh, this looks pretty good, y'all. This looks pretty good coming out of the base of this little layer here. pay attention. Pay attention to the GIPWiz callouts. Or the callouts, the oral alerts. All right, there's 2,000 feet. Gear down.
Separation for the perfect.
2,000.
VFE next, minus 10, flaps 3.
Perfect approach. 761 for this. Real big pilot.
There's the alerts.
Echo traffic, Quebec 705 heavy, 40 miles solid.
Flaps full, landing checklist.
Right.
Look at that. Flaps full IAE 321, man. Just hanging them down.
3,000 testing base for one to right.
That's awesome. All right. Spoilers, I can't arm them. Cabin check. There we go. That looked pretty darn good coming out of there, guys. That was a very good overcast layer. Very well done. All right, we're going to take this down. We're fully configured. Down to land, clear to land. I'm going to take it down to minimum engagement height on, let's just say, because we're not doing an auto land. So we'll take it down to about 100 feet. And then I'm going to manually, I'm going to keep the autopilot on. We're going to do a go around. There's a potential for a impact, a gear impact on the runway. So we'll see what happens here. I don't think I've ever done this in a Toliss. I don't think I've ever done an autopilot engaged go around, and we are 171, 519. We are 520. We are 60 pounds, 61 pounds above max landing weight, 61 pounds. And I'm going to leave this up here. Someone take us. No, I'm not going to leave it up there, but see if you can take a snapshot of our fuel when we hit the go around button. So here we go. We're coming down. I'm going to be quiet during the go-around. I'm not going to say any call-outs because I want to hear the engines.
500. 400. 100 above. 300. Minimum 200. 100.
Go around.
50.
Man, Toga, SRS nav. Go around flaps. Positive rate. Gear up. Fly by. Look at it already in the turn. God. That flyby sound. Positive rate, gear up, we're in the climb out. Cancun traffic, Hector 357 on the go around, 12 left on the published miss. We'll circle back, try it again. Thrust climb, open climb, nav, auto thrust. Let her accelerate. Oh, we're at 10.4 now. I don't know what we were at. There's F speed. Let's go ahead and go flaps 1. Look how our go around is now in the green. All right, we're gonna we'll fly on this publish for a little bit, and then we'll resequence ourselves. I'm gonna turn the sim down a little bit, turn up X pilot. Speed alt star, we're leveling at 3,000. Cactus 357, turn left, fly heading 040, maintain 3,000. 040, maintain 3,000. There's S speed, there's the auto flap retraction. Slats come to 0. After takeoff checklist. I'm gonna go ahead and set 240 knots now. All right, we're cleaned up. Let's go ahead and recycle. We'll go perf. We'll activate, confirm the approach phase. Cactus 357, fly heading 350. 350, Cactus 357. Cancun traffic, Cactus 357. We're on a left downwind, rejoining a left downwind now for a 1-2 left, Cancun. That was awesome. Reason for go around, we wanted to do a Soundpack check. That was a Soundpack check on the go around. That was pretty awesome. Alright, we'll continue to come left now. Cactus 357, proceed direct ride duck. Direct to ride duck, Cactus 357. Back direct ride duck, we're already at 3,000. Let's go ahead and come up to 250 knots. We'll try her again. We're at 10,000 pounds. So what was our, we were at 10.4 slightly after takeoff. No call outs, he says. Oh, did I do the call outs? Dang it. That was probably, yeah. Well, rip. I tried not to do them, I swear. I was trying not to do the call outs. All right, we're 10,000 pounds on the fuel now. We're well below max. So let's do a, we're not well below, we're below max. Let's go over here and do a quick landing perf. Go ahead and compute. We're not overweight. Oh, we are 170.20. Compute. Oh, 171. There we go. Landing distance, we're at 48. Margin of 1,800. Landing distance factor 73.61.
Cancun traffic will stay for 5 miles. Final distance speed to approach 140 knots.
Functional check completed in accordance with OEM maintenance manual.
Heavy clear off runway 1 to right, taxiing to the cargo ramp flat line.
Okay, as it was a immediate go down flaps, rip.
Cancun traffic check with 871 entering your west base.
That's right, we had a Soundpack check. That was, that go around though, and the flyby view when we were positive rate and it was just climbing out, that was pretty sweet.
Cancun traffic, speedway 1610. It's 10 mile final, 1-2 left. Cancun.
Alright, he's 10 miles out. You went 505, is a little bit past 10, so we should be just fine. We'll just go ahead and hit ride dug for the turn inbound. We're burning fuel. We don't need any engine anti-ice. We're looking good. Everything is still set. We've reactivated the approach phase. We've still got our LS push buttons on. 3,000, 250 is set. We're looking good. Just double check, make sure we did reactivate, right? Yes, that's the one thing you want to just double check, because if you go around and then you come back and you don't have the approach phase activated, as soon as you go manage speed there at 2,000 feet, guess what it's going to do? It's going to want to speed up to 250 knots. So if you're at 180 and then you don't have it activated and you go managed, that's always fun to watch the FO scramble on that one. Sunset time. All right. I have to take it out of real weather. So give me a second. Give me a second. Or not real weather.
2 miles final, runway 1 to right.
We're going to do sunset time. All right. So I got to fast forward 20. Oh, that's going the wrong way. 21, 22. Here we go. Whoa, look at that cloud up there. That's kind of scary looking. I kind of wish we were landing into the sun, but we'll do it like this. That's pretty yellow. All this stream has done is maybe want to hop back into Toliss and X-Plane 12. Sorry, man.
Traffic check late 71, turning final, runway 1 left.
Cancun traffic, X357. We're about 5 miles from Rydug, setting up for a left base, runway 12 left. Cancun. So it's sunrise time. All right, let's take a look at sunrise. Let's go back.
Traffic, speedway 1610, short final, 1-2 left. Cancun.
Let's try sunrise, flying into the sunrise. Try to find that golden hour. That looks like a nuclear bomb went off over there. We need to go flaps 2 or flaps 1 would be nice. Let's just go ahead and bring it right back to 180 now. Just honoring the recent release of Oppenheimer with the sunset. They call it the Independence Day cloud. That's right, Chaos. It's pretty good, man. For a German, you know the Independence Day movie. That's good, man. Some brownie points. Crimson Ghost, I just updated 319 Rocket last night. Now I need to do the beta. Crimson Ghost, you need to do the beta, and you need to get in touch with HKK, see if they have the 319 available Soundpack yet, because it's coming for the 319. I actually have a copy of it. He sent me a version, but I don't know if it's publicly available on the store yet, so I don't want to say that it's available and then you'd be all mad at me when it's not on the store. But I know it's right there. I think it was just store issues is what's holding it up. He's ready to go with it. But the store is just kind of holding things up. Oh, it is in there, AJ. All right, so there you go. It is in there.
Cancun traffic, JetBlue 71, 10 mile final, 1 left.
Cancun traffic, X357, we're turning final 1-2 left, about 18 miles out for the ILS 1-2 left, Cancun. All right, we are flaps 2.
Right up for you off the runway.
Nah, you're good, man. Take your time. Look at that. The reflection looks pretty dang good. I had a laugh in Captain Canada's stream earlier. There was Air France going into Chicago. And it was like, you can go around. No thanks. Why don't you go around? That reflection looks pretty damn good. Oh no.
Hope the flight has been good. Haven't even touched XP12. I got it, then was like, yeah, not clocking with this. Quiet day so far at work. Hope it stays this way. Let me know about Friday the 28th.
Wrong side sim, my man. Appreciate the $20 bank angle check. Yeah, man, we had to do a go-around because you dispatched us with way too much fuel. We were overweight on landing, so we did a go-around to burn some fuel. Appreciate the $20 bank angle check. Quiet day at work, that's always good. Hope it stays that way. I'll be in on Thursday. Yeah, I'm gonna see if we can do something Friday, wrong side. I'm rolling the dice. If they call me for 200%, I may roll in, but we'll see what happens. But thanks so much, Wrong Side Sim. Appreciate that $20 super chat. Enjoy the rest of your day at work. You might want to give old X-Plane 12 a try with the latest beta, man. The latest beta. I'm not loving the sunrise right now. We're in the clouds, though. I want to see how it looks when we break out. But I appreciate you, Wrong Side Sim. I really want to see what it looks like when we break below this cloud layer here. So the sun will be rising off our left side here to the east. We're on final. Things are looking good. 180 knots. We're flaps 2. Chomper Studios, the Soundpack, 11 out of 10. 11 out of 10. Exclamation point sound. Don't even waste your time going back and winding back the stream. Just go to the X-Plane store and pick it up. If you fly the Toliss Airbuses, which I saw that message, it's all in there. 19, 20, Neo, and 21. So if you fly the Toliss, this is what I would call a must-have add-on for X-Plane 12. I don't really love my wing views. I'm going to have to do some work on fixing those wing views. And that nice transition of sounds. You come back to the trailing edge here. All right, we are looking good. The glide slope's alive. We didn't arm it up, though. How about we arm the approach? All right, glide slope blue, Loke dual, or Loke Cat 3 dual, autopilot 1+2, 250 on the MDA. And let's pop this out so you can see what we're doing, because we're actually going to land it this time. That's the plan. Landing's the plan. Go around's an option. I used to fly with a captain who said that every single approach and landing. Ironically, it was the first time I ever had to file an ASAP report was with that captain. How would you say realistic Toliss is a hand fly? I'd say it's the most realistic hand flying airplane on the sim. No doubt. No doubt about it. All right. Glide slope, 3,000, go down at 2 to set. We are standing by to manage her up. We'll do it just like last time. It worked out perfectly. 2,000 feet, manage the speed, gear down. And we roll it. I might zip the sun back behind us too once we break out. This is really a testing stream. We're not really doing full environmental realism here. We're kind of testing things out. What about FS Labs? Is it any good? reflective of the FCOM? Yeah, for sure. It's reflective of the FCOM, but the P3D is dead, bro. Sorry. At least for me. Great, now we're going to get a bunch of hate mail in the comments on replay.
2,000.
Now all I'm missing is the mini FCU. Jeremy, yes. Mini FCU with the Toliss and this sound pack. We could have some fun with that. Oh, I'm a little bit late. Gear down. I'm going to go ahead and go flap straight a little bit early. Just because I was about 300 feet late there. Flaps full, landing checklist. God, full flaps in the 321. Double slot. Looking juice. All right. That's... I tell you what. That's not terrible. There's like pre-dawn. That's really not terrible, y'all. That really isn't all that bad. I think it definitely could still use some tweaking, but I don't hate it. What I do hate is how my MFD is now bigger than my PFD. Let's hand fly. Let's take her on down. Should I leave the auto thrust on? Let's leave the auto thrust on. Let's see how auto thrust handles.
1,000.
1,000 feet stable, clear to land. Here we go. Oh yeah, wing nut for sure. That little bit of degree extra makes a difference. It really does. You reinstall an X-plane? Look, 100% transparency. I did not think I would be as excited about X-plane as I am when I started the stream. Maybe you even heard it in my voice when we first started. I was just like, meh. But then when we saw what we saw, and this is 100% default, mind you. I have 0 add-ons
500.
other than the Toliss and exclamation point sound. Wow, you can actually follow a glide slope in X-plane too. That's pretty nice.
100 above.
I say that
300.
now I'm getting high. I guess I'm just not that good of a pilot. I mean, the winds are 10 knots, but they are
Minimum
dead steady at
200.
10. The lighting looks very good on the runway. That looks really good.
100. 50, 40, 30, 20. Retard.
Oh boy, got a flare at
retard,
321
10,
there.
5.
Oh gosh.
Retard.
That was hard. I just didn't flare, y'all. I'm too busy looking at my glide slope. I'm like, wow, you can actually follow this all the way down. Then I looked up and we're at 20 feet. I hope the landing replay or the replay rate didn't work. It probably did. A 454, that was every bit of it. That's cause Wingnut's in chat. 70 knots. That's a Wingnut standard landing right there. F-18 rated. Bolter. We might have popped a tire on that one. X-plane canceled. I swear. The funniest thing, like what made that so funny, I was so impressed that I could actually follow a glide slope. I was just staring at the glide slope. And then I looked up and it's like, oh, I gotta do something here. That's gonna nick me on recurrent. It is what it is, man. Hey, at least we get to watch the replay on that. That's gonna be funny. All right, let's clean it up. It was 100% legal. Definitely legal. And taxing, the ground friction, the town. Yeah, it's... Yeah. All right, X-plane, I hear you. I hear you, X-plane. All right, we're going over the Kootamundi Bridge, however you say it. All my members in chats, all the Kootamundis. This is where it happened. Now, I don't have a scenery, but in real life, this is a bridge. And this is Kootamundi Bridge right here. 1,000% legal, but it felt illegal. I like the airport lighting. It's subtle, but there. like it is in real life, you know? I think maybe still a touch too yellow on the sunrise, but I'm gonna have to do some work in making this. I'm gonna have to get some freaking add-ons now. Boy, can I convert? Is there any way to convert Orbix True Earth to X-Plane 12? Or is that not recommended? Because I have all of the Orbix True Earth stuff. Can I do like my California? Can I just install it the same way I would in 11 into 12, or is that going to mess with things? I'll tell you what, since we're in the Toliss, let's do this. Let's hear all the sounds. We're going to go yellow electric pump on, and let's go ahead and secure engine 2 on the way into the gate here. Run it, it should be fine. Damn it, now I'm going to have to do X-Plane 12 streams. We're going to park over here next to this Jet Who. I love that. Did you hear that sound? Listen. That's exactly what it sounds like.
Hey, just curious, everyone that flew in here today, was this like a group event or like a flying club or something?
Nah, man, you just won the lottery.
I wasn't sure. I'm like, man, there's usually nobody down here most of the time.
Just look the other way when we start unloading our cargo. Ooh, just a little bit short. Look at that compression. All right, I want to show y'all something here real quick too. So I'm going to pause, or I'm not going to pause. I'm going to set the parking brake. Matter of fact, let's chalk it. Watch this. I saw XP72 do this, and I'm pretty sure you can do it in on the Phoenix too. We're going to have to give it a test. But I want you to watch the compression of the nose wheel strut here as we go into Toga thrust. So listen to this, and you get to hear the Toga sounds as well. Watch the energy of this airplane as we go run up the power here. See how it squats? Now I'm curious, if I do it without chalk with the parking brake on, will it do it more? Look at it squat down. I love that. Absolutely love it. Oh, we only have one engine running. That would also be why it's not as dramatic as I thought. All right, I know the jet bridge is in the wing. Let's do an external view shutdown on number 1. Interesting wing there. Yep, yep. Or APU wasn't on? Dude, I thought we had the APU running. Well, rip. Anyways, that was just a, it was just some testing there where we're just messing around. Let's watch the replay. I had no idea the APU wasn't on. I'm too enamored with the whole sim being as nice as I thought I was going to be, or nicer than I thought I was going to be. Now, this is the real test. Will replay work? This is going to, I don't know, I don't want to say make or break, but way too much fun this weekend. Jeremy, I'm telling you, dude, I'm on the struggle bus, bro. I am still on the struggle bus. But let's wind this back. Now, you guys said that the arrows don't work. Let's just, please don't crash. All right, we're good. We're good. What's the runway view? Oh, here it comes. This is the view that I've always missed. Should be in replay mode as well. Shift 1. I'll do a shift 1. I'll do a shift 1 AJ here in just a second. Turn it up. Don't watch. Oh, that was 100% a Navy landing. Hey, look, we did decrab it, though, just a little bit late. Oh, my goodness. That was firm. What did it say, 455? That was every bit of 455. Now, what's also interesting here is watch how squirrely the airplane becomes on this impact because my spoilers were not armed. When the spoilers are not armed, they will deploy only when reverse thrust is selected on at least one or more engines and the weight is on the wheels here. Now watch this. Because I didn't have it armed, the airplane gets a little squirrely there in the bounce. All right, and now I got it settled down, and I select reverse, and the spoilers come up. Had those spoilers came up on initial impact, it would have been a lot less squirrely. See how the airplane almost kind of lifts back up? This wheel actually came off of the ground. So let me zoom in here. The left main came back up off the ground, and I don't want to say I guarantee you, but I can almost bet you, had the spoilers have been armed and we got a partial deployment, that wouldn't have happened. See, now as the reverse is selected, the weight goes firmly on the wheels. That's pretty neat. Let's watch it from... Oh my ears are destroyed, sorry. Let's do this view right here. There was just no flare. See, the spoilers would be up here in real life to help mitigate that. Now they come up. Look at that. There's that Florence kit, aileron ground spoiler. Ooh, another cactus over there on the ramp. Daggone, that's good. All right. We're going to do a shift 1 flyby. What is the perfect prefix for Mexican ships? Must have a commissioned carrier named Cancun. Lauren, welcome to the stream. Rip. Where's my shift 1 flyby? It's not working. Shift 1 flyby doesn't work. Oh yeah, it does. It's just super slow. Simon, it is. The replay, super nice to watch. At least I flew the nose down nicely. You got to give me that. 321, fly the nose down. Got to fly down. Hold on. Do we have like the fancy... Is there a light configuration I can change? Wingtips, DCDs, SATCOMs, auto nav. Is there like a... Am I missing lights or are they just not on? They might just not be on. I thought it was an option where you could have old school or new school lights. Engine, ACTs, DCDs, Imperial, SATCOM, flight plan, auto nav, which was helpful, auto save. I guess it's not on this one. Maybe that's the 321 Neo? Or maybe I'm thinking of something else. Only in the Neo. Thanks, Gustavo. Okay, I was thinking of the Neo then. All right. I'm going to leave y'all with a couple... Oh, there they are. Oh, you know what? Are they just not extended? That's why. I gotta turn them on, right? Because we shut everything off, maybe? Let's see. They just didn't extend, I guess. Can't get them to extend. Alright. I'm gonna wind it back. I'll give you one long one to watch. We're gonna end it here. I know you can't really see on that one, but this right here looks pretty darn good. That's what it is, Gustavo. I forget. Get out of replay, extend the lights, and do it. I'll do it on the next one. I gotta get used to this whole X-Plane thing again. But damn, I had a lot of fun with this one. I hope y'all enjoyed this stream because I really, honestly, I really did. And Toliss is amazing as always. And then the sound set from KOSP, exclamation point sound, coming through the chat. If you're watching it on replay, it's in the description. Take a look at it there. Click on it. Go support this dev because this sound set is the all you need sound set for all your Toliss airplanes. I'm going to have to come up with some new routes, see if I can get some ortho working here on this airplane or on this sim. Look at that. That dirty wing texture's right over the top. Man. I did not anticipate getting back into this sim this early on, but we're going to have to. All right. I need to get out of here. It's 6 in the afternoon. I've had a long weekend. I need some rest. Thank you all for joining this stream. Thank you for the massive membership donation spam that we had early on. All the other super chats, the bank angle checks, the wrong side sim stopping in here. You guys are awesome. Thank you for all the love and support. I can't wait to see y'all in the next one. Hopefully we'll be back at it later this week. So until next time, y'all stay safe, stay healthy. Fire up that X-Plane if you got it. Give it a shot. Let me know what you think. Post your screenshots in the Discord. And I look forward to seeing all of the beautiful Airbuses that we have on the screenshot forum. So, stay safe, stay healthy. I'm V1. See you!